Hey, is everyone curious as to what happened to the fire? And is it real? Did it happen? Did it not happen? There were fires. We were all fighting over the same things. People were saying it was at the Vatican, like me, like all the images that I showed and the live video feeds that I've showed you. Did somebody fake it? Possibly. We're going to talk about the attacks prior, weeks before to this happening, where the Swiss Guard really had to fire on someone that was in a car trying to get through the barricades right during the mass or whatever that the Pope does there, which remains very, very interesting. And of course, we got a lot of people that were at the same time, the Georgia Guidestones. Everything was happening. Whoop, my microphone was sideways. Everything was happening at the Georgia Guidestones at the same time. An obelisk fire in the Philippines, or if not a fire, an explosion or a a lightning bolt. So there were fires in Rome, and there were images of the Vatican with massive smoke that was in the area of the Vatican. Some of you say, no, it was a park. It was an archaeology park. And then people were saying, no, it was a junkyard. And then it traveled on to the junkyard. That's true. The fire started further away that were in the vicinity of the Vatican. But there's lots of news. And by digging, I was able to find out that the Vatican was on high alert. Don't forget, because of the fires in the surrounding area, somebody assumed that because the Vatican was under high alert and, the guidestones being struck, a lot of people are hyperactive, and all it takes is one little lie. But let it be known, it's still up there now, by the way, the Vatican fire posts. There's at least 150 channels that did like me, started talking about the fires, and like me and like all of us are not able to get any information. Thank you very much, Super Dave. Hi, everyone. Another surprise live stream. Craig, hello, man free. Super Dave, thanks. Barb Weist, love you, sister. Hello to you. Luz, thank you very much for being here in front of you. Okay, my friend, good to see you. Good to see you all too. And you're going to be very happy with the information I'm going to give you, because it's going to send you off on other areas to look for what went on in Rome in the past couple of weeks. There's something happened in June, and from between June 8th to June 20th, something occurred, and Italy is actually on a type of lockdown. The term that I'm using has nothing to do with the pandemic. Something happened, and they're on high alert in Italy. There were several, from what I heard, explosions in certain areas and things happening. I'm trying to look for those things. I'm finding a couple of things online, and really quickly, right here, before all this started, the police fired on a car, right? The Carabinieri, which is there, the police that's there, right? So the police fire on a car that drove right through the Vatican barricade. So if you want to know what the date of that is, well, we're talking June 22nd, okay? And it was also updated after. But so on June 22nd, around that area, really was a driver that was found to have alcohol and drugs in his system. So we're about, we're exactly 4 weeks before, about 4 or 5 weeks before the Vatican supposed fire, which, by the way, I'm not going to confirm to you that it didn't happen, because if someone now is posting a lie that it didn't happen when it really did, I don't want to be the bringer of lies, but we're only human, and we can only try to sort these things out. So this is interesting. The Italian police, and I looked it up, at the police there in Italy. So this did happen. So they say, Italian police were forced to open fire on a car that actually did break through the barricades very near to St. Peter's Basilica on Sunday. The incident took place as thousands of pilgrims, as you see on Sundays sometimes there, and faithful were gathering to hear Pope Francis his weekly and jealous address. Anyways, they were there to hear the guy talk. Republic World, so that'll give you a little basis in where to research. Republic World reports that the car was driven by a 38-year-old Albanian man with a history of misdemeanors. It's always like that, right? They let them out, they jail them, they let them out again. The man allegedly refused to stop at a checkpoint. And this would be it was Corso Vittorio Emanuele, wherever that is, nobody knows unless you're from Rome. A main central street in Rome that leads to St. Peter's Square. So there was high alert on the square, in the Vatican Square, for several weeks now. But does it mean that it correlates to the fires that were around the Vatican? There were some terror attacks and some extremist groups in Italy, whatnot. As for Islamic groups, Islamists, uh, supposedly there were terror attacks in 214, 216, and 210, but nothing went through. They never went through with them. So refused to stop at a checkpoint. Okay, so a main central street in Rome that leads right up to the square. The suspect is now, back then, 4 or 5 weeks ago, in custody of the Italian police, but his motives have not been made clear. So when that happened, I found on another news over here that says that there was a high alert put in place for the Vatican and the Swiss Guard and Italian police, but it wasn't because there was a fire at the Vatican. This was weeks before, and there was worry, obviously, that car that did break through the barricades, 2 barricades, by the way, as we'll see later on, they were worried about them reaching the people because there's there are thousands of people there in Rome when the Pope is doing his Angelus address, let's call it. And so the chase, as the driver approached St. Peter's, he blew through another checkpoint. So those just arriving, this happened just a couple of 4 or 5 weeks ago on the 22nd of June, right? Which time police officers opened fire, shooting at the vehicle's wheels. So, and this guy was trying to get to the people, right? According to Crux, whoever that is, the car got close enough to St. Peter's Square that the Swiss Guard had to rush to close the main doors of the Holy Office. So now the doors of the Holy Office, the Vatican, are closing, and they are put on alert, right? Even with both front tires blown out, the driver did not stop. Switching roads, he began traveling around the Vatican, where he slammed into a police vehicle, injuring 2 police officers. So that means there was 2 police officers in the vehicle. Then he turned onto the Via Gregorio VII, whatever, where he was finally cut off by an Italian anti-terrorism unit. Why were they there? It was a terrorism unit, just handy. No, okay, that had been deployed. So they did deploy an anti-terrorism unit. So as all these things are coming out, people are assuming, that there are, because of the obelisks, maybe because at the same time that the obelisk in the Philippines was getting hit, that people would have thought that. But listen, it doesn't mean that they're not on high alert, but we're not going to start lying, saying that the Vatican is burning. And again, if you're looking that up, you're going to see several fires and 2, I'm not sure the dates, I think 214, 215, or maybe 220 or some 218, whatever. There's 2 or 3 incidents of a real fire inside the Vatican. And as I explained it a couple of days ago, that they don't put out fires the same way like we do our houses with water, because they don't want to damage the documents. Anyways, like somebody was talking also in the community, air tight sealing to stop the fire, right? So that happened. And then today, finally, for the first time, as I was looking in the news, I'll be right with you all. Again, this doesn't mean it's real. It's on Tasnim news agency. Tasnim. Look it up for yourself. Massive fire rages Rome again. Okay, again, because there are several incidences of fires. And most people, when they heard of that one incident, assumed that, the ones that heard of the junkyard fire just said, well, it was a junkyard burning. But the whole story of it traveling, right, got the high alert obvious on the Vatican, especially being so close to that car that actually tried to get to the square, right? Over several boroughs of Rome, the sky was dark again. And I compared that big plume of smoke that I'm seeing on this website, and it looks exactly like the plume of smoke in the video at the Vatican. So that means there must have been a lot of smoke at the Vatican too, and in the area, not knowing what was happening. Obviously, Swiss Guard, maybe Italian police, were putting everyone on, a sort of a perimeter lockdown, right? The fire is believed to have originated in a park, like a lot of you told me, archaeological park or whatever, but it doesn't say that here. It was just in a park, then spread to several junkyards, not one, with a large black cloud of smoke that could be seen across the city, thus maybe proving that it could be seen from the Vatican. The Brussels Times reported that. So if you want to look that up, the Brussels Times. According to a spokesperson for Mayor Roberto, it is the work of arsonists. So there were arsonists in the area that were setting fires. I heard weeks ago that there was a high alert for extremist groups in Italy the whole month. Okay. So we know that also. So maybe people just assumed, well, now it's time. We'll tell people that the obelisk was hit because they're hitting the stones and everything. That could have been, and obviously was just somebody, a shit disturber trying to amplify, because we were all waiting for that, right? Like, we're honestly all waiting for this to happen. I think in all due honesty, an investigation, so there are investigations too, will have to show whether it concerns individual perpetrators or organized crime. So now here it is. They're not ruling out that this was a terror attack, but they want to rule out by investigating, even though they might not tell us, whether it was extremist groups, whether this was obviously planned, or whether it was just someone like the guy 4 or 5 weeks ago driving drunk down the street. But they didn't talk about that either, whether it was a terror group or not, or whether it was a deliberate attack. But when you see that in the same area, just think of it. The people living around the Vatican in that area in the past 2 months, seeing explosions, fires, and people, Italian police shooting at cars trying to get to the Vatican. It's definitely going to cause people to stir up maybe some lies too online, when in reality, they don't have to lie about the Vatican burning. There's some truth to all the crap that's going on around the area, right? Because I think we all know that the Vatican maybe would have gotten hit. And again, I'm not saying didn't happen. I know some of you here are still going to say it probably did happen. Maybe it did, but I haven't seen anything of it yet. Yeah, I haven't seen Fox News or anyone or Alex Jones talking about it too. And I was very, very surprised, as you all are also, about that. Another thing is that I would be expecting that if it got out of hand, this information, people like Fox and maybe Alex Jones would mention that it was bullshit and that it didn't happen. But that didn't occur either. So it remains very interesting. So firefighters on Sunday brought the large blaze under control after a day of fighting the flames. So you can imagine that the whole day, fighting, after a day of fighting the flames, right? So we see that day that it occurred there. Pope Francis, Papa Francesco, was doing his Angelus address, or a sermon, or whatever he always does, the same day where that fire occurred. So the fire did occur at the same time that they were there, but maybe not while they were there. Maybe it's after they left. I don't know. Again, 4 or 5 weeks before that, that's what happened. So that's the only thing I can see in the post here. They're saying that it was they're not saying it was a lie, but I have seen a post where it was a Catholic website, but they're saying that somebody did manipulate an image and put the smoke even closer to the Vatican or whatnot. So whether that's true or not, I said I'm going to come on right away and talk about it. I already had some people saying, "So Bruce, what's up with the Vatican? You talk about the Vatican, you're not going to talk about it anymore?" No, I mean, I'm not going to talk about it. I don't give a shit about the Vatican. I mean, I care about my life and our countries here, and whatever goes on at the Vatican and news, I'll post it. If there was a hoax, if somebody's manipulating it, I think the whole news, like, MSNBC, NBC, ABC, CBC, every one of them is spreading lies, and it's just propaganda basically that's out there. So it's hard for us to try to find the truth. But see, it took a day, and it's quite simple. I do believe that possibly the Vatican didn't get hit at all. And I've still not found any posts that are talking about it. But Wow, I honestly was overwhelmed, and we had an incredible conversation about it. And but the Georgia Guidestones, because lots is going on, but we don't have to add into what's going on. The fires got really bad around the Vatican because several junkyards. Can you imagine the tires and oil and fuel, whatever the car is burning, and then all the buildings that are catching on fire, and then the fire trucks that are going around everywhere? So it probably caused a lot of commotion, and that's what I was able to find so far. The states are now asking the Democrats for 654, is it million or $1 billion? And they're just continually taking money out, and they're laundering their money in Ukraine. Obviously, that's what's going on. I mean, people have to wake up, but what's going on around the world, Unfortunately, we got some people, and whose fault is that? Biden's fault. It's all Biden's fault. Julie, thank you for the amazing gift you sent me up, as always. Always thinking of me, stickers. But I always wanted one of these, and I hadn't mentioned it, but she sent a couple of stickers for me of I did that. I promised to stick them all over the gas stations. That's what I'm going to do. And of course, a cool shirt that she got me, Space Rock. It's going to fit Kazoo because my belly button sort of shows up underneath it. But hey, are you all, what do you think? What do you think of the news coming out? How I presented it of the Vatican? I mean, sorry guys, that's the truth that I'm seeing today. CL3 mentioned to me that they were talking about the Vatican, and he was right. I went to see it, but was it real or was it not real? Well, it doesn't really matter because we'll find out as days went by. But people were really keeping me posted. Bruce, it's fake bullshit. I don't know how you guys would have found that out. But then again, maybe you saw the posts before I did today about the post, but like just keeping things real. And I said, why not come on anyways for an hour or something and come say hi to the team and let them know that there is a lot of crap going on. I mean, are you hearing the stories? There's something about a time capsule that disappeared. I don't know if that's real or not, but there's a lot of stories coming out there, and it is not easy trying to find out which story is real and which story is not real. But now, like those voting things in the boxes in the States, they're passing laws that they're not talking about in the news. Now, Americans at least won't have those boxes where people are stealing ballots at night. But a big plan from the Democrats. I'm not even going to get into that. They're probably going to shut the stream down, as they did yesterday when I was talking about the Vatican. Thanks for, hey, Big Ben, how's it going? MJA. Things are happening, are not being reported. Yes, that's right, MJA. And unfortunately, if I could, I'd erase it. I'm very happy I had a lot of people at the stream, and obviously, very, very respectful comments, even though people knew most of you kept an open mind and said, well, if this happened, the next day there's going to be something. You're going to see something in Fox. We're going to see Alex Jones or somebody, look it up. Now there's a lot of YouTube channels that are continuing to talk about what happened at the Vatican, but honestly, they probably not bad people. They probably don't know what the hell went on. We'll see it in a month if they're still talking about it, or if they talk about it in 2-3 months. Again, when was it last? I think a month ago in the community, they were talking about hangings on television, and it turned out it was a comedy show. I mean, I literally posted about it saying this is horrible on BBC, but I guess you guys do that in the UK where there's no laugh tracks, pretending that it was a real newscast. We don't do that here. And when I heard no laugh track, I said, holy shit, could this be real? Well, some people, I told my mother, I called her up, said there was a fire at the Vatican. I said, there's smoke. They must be choosing a new pope if there's smoke. So there was smoke at the Vatican. Vatican was on high alert. I don't have any proof that it didn't happen, but won't linger more on the fact that the Vatican, we have no proof. There's no information coming out about the fire. And it was sad to see that I saw somebody in Rome saying they were really upset that people were spreading that rumor and stuff. So for the people in Rome, whether it's true or not, I think we should take it seriously and keep doing research. If somebody finds something different, let me know. We'll come back on and say, hey, it happened. Because MJ, it's true what you're saying. There's information coming out that are lies, and some is being suppressed, and sometimes we're not finding out the truth. Super Dave, you guys can check out his channel too. Very cool friend, supporter of the channel. Thanks so much, Super Dave, for coming by. Well, all my friends, I really appreciate you for coming on this afternoon. Tried to come on maybe a couple of times during the week. I know there's a lot of new people here that I've never seen during the streams, because I guess it's the time where some of you, it's probably in the middle of the night, that when you're doing your work and stuff like that, we have different times and everything. It's not always easy to all reach here. Vibrant Love, welcome to the channel. Thank you very much. Oh, maybe it's because there's a lot of people that I'm having a hard time seeing everyone. I always try to answer everyone, but like I promised Sab the Seeker, I won't. I'm going to scroll down at one point because I always try to answer everyone and I can't. United, we are unstoppable. Vibrant Love, that's exactly it. We're better as one force than through individuality, as being an individual person, because they can't say no to us when we all stick together, and they can't put us all in little concentration camps or jails when we all agree with the same thing. So, and those just arriving in that didn't hear about the Vatican, what was going on, there were several fires. There are high alerts in Italy, but I do not believe the Vatican had any fire whatsoever, except for the smoke that was around it, and that maybe they would have closed the doors in case something happened. There was 4 or 5 weeks ago, somebody did try to drive through the barricades and get to the people, and he was going through roads. He had 2 flats, hit a police car, injured 2 police officers. It was an Albanian man that was drunk and stoned, apparently. So that's the news. That's what we heard. Not as exciting as the Georgia Guidestones, but good. Give it a break. Let the smoke and dust settle, because lots of things are happening. We're starting to see a lot of truth seekers and whistleblower channels, the real ones, the big channels, not me, the big channels that are talking about the elites taking a hit, and that the New World Order has been not stopped, but that is slowing down. And of course, how did he say it? Even Alex Jones himself, he said not to milk it or to put sugar on anything coating, but everything's so morbid in the news these days. When we get a little bit of truth going the other way, it's something really, really good. That's a good thing. Actually caught you live today. Sweet. Loves you, Bruce. Canada. Thanks again. And I love the channel name, my friend. Canouille. Salut, merci. Grip Ripper. Hello. Thanks again, you guys. Heine, how's it going? Thanks, brother. We have True Helper. Good day, everyone. Good day to you, too. Vibrant Love. That means a lot. I thank you so much. Focus mainly on the moon, my research and stuff. But since the pandemic and the end times, we could say, there's lots going on. So, just, La Palma volcano. I was into that at one point. There's the volcanoes. There's all these migrations from different countries, and it's sad. There's lots going on. They say it's climate change. They're talking about methane. We need methane to keep the oxygen low in the atmosphere towards us, right? Methane, just like the carbon. Plant trees and it changes into the bark carbon, and everything recycles by itself. Instead of trying to pretend, we're like unterraforming the earth. We're trying to back engineer the terraforming. Everything that they did or God did to advance things, it's like we're trying to reverse it. Bill Gates, big food plant and food plants in the States. Have you heard about the fires? Real fires? Bill Gates food plant, the Dutch farmers are to be appreciated. All farmers are, but we owe a big thank you to the Dutch farmers. It's hard to see in the news, guys. Look it up. The protests and everything that was going on. They burnt down one of Bill Gates' food plants, and they literally torched it. Tractors were there. They're sick of it. They're standing up. And like some of you said, all of us together, we really are strong. Kassar, comment ça va? Thanks for appreciating the work, my friends. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you all checking out the videos. That really does help a lot too. Hello, Karen. Laura in the house. Thanks, you guys. I hope to catch up with a lot of you that were not able to get here and have some live streams. So, Vatican fires, there were fires all around it and high alerts, a shooting 4 weeks before that, 5 weeks before that, but no fire from what I heard at the Vatican. I didn't hear anything about the obelisk being hit other than yesterday or whenever I posted that video. It's there. Israel 365 news. There's posts on Reddit about the Vatican fire, and now it's spreading like wildfire. So we'll see what happens. Super Dave in the house. Christopher Noons, thanks, man. Oh, yeah, from Vaudreuil Dorion, soon to be in Mexico. Hey, lucky you. Beautiful place. I have never been to Mexico. I hope to go one day, but I have to thank you, my friend. Merci beaucoup. Thanks a lot for listening in at Vaudreuil Dorion. Another beautiful, beautiful community in place. I hope more and more people from Montreal area and around the surrounding area, the Montérégie, will tune in once in a while to the channel. And do, Christopher, check out some of the UFO videos and telescope videos. I know, as crazy as I sound saying that I film UFOs, maybe, just maybe, one person has real UFO videos on YouTube. I hope I'm considered as one of them. Lisa Eckerly, as always. Can't thank you all enough for stopping by, you guys. In front of you, it's getting scary, my friends. So much shit happening. It is, and unfortunately, with a little bit, Justin Palmier, thanks, man, with some of the lies that are coming in and some of the deliberate scams. I mean, listen, if I would have preferred not even having touched on the subject yesterday, but as curious as the person that mentioned it, and I was just as curious as him, and I went all out. So let's talk about what's going on. So we got some truth out of it. There was some crap going on in Italy, Rome, around Italy. Italy's on a sort of lockdown, which that I had to look it up in France news, which French channels are all talking about this lockdown in Italy, which I haven't seen any information in English. And of course, I'm not Italian. So yeah, grazie. Anyways, things are getting scary. Bobana, thanks again for being in. Dazzy Bling, just got here. Great drought causes fires everywhere in Italy. Okay, this is what I was hoping. I said more people are going to bring up some things. Yes, Dazzy Bling. And they're just recently talking about that, saying that in other places too, that climate change, okay, is the reason why fires are starting around the world, because they say that temperature degree change, which is totally ridiculous. It's totally ridiculous. Sure, when it's 40 degrees, it's better not to start campfires, but saying that the climate changing all of a sudden is causing fires. Do you remember we went from like 0 to 100? Like we went from 0 kilometers an hour to 100 miles an hour in 1 week. Fish, birds dying, California fires, Afghanistan war, terror attacks, shooting soldiers in Canada, the US, and around the world, churches being invaded, new terrorist groups are being formed. And then we find out about the human trafficking, then the slavery still exists, and that they're putting up LGBTQ statues everywhere, including Vladimir Zelensky, who's thinking of putting up a gay porn star's statue in the place of the statue in Odessa of that statue's there that is Russian. I'm not bullshitting you. Now, I know that sounds crazy. So Bruce just told us there was fires yesterday at the Vatican, and today he's saying Zelensky's putting up porn statues. Look it up. Alex Jones was talking. The guy that talked about the gay frog. Well, he wasn't all that off, eh? He was right on. It's true. Some crazy shit's coming out now. It's just ridiculous. Super Dave, I thank you so much, my man. Really appreciate that. Yes, thank you. The water ban in the UK, they're talking about heat limitations and taking away the farmers' right to having cattle. Bill Gates, do you know who owns the most farmland in the United States of America, my friend? North Dakota is now in court. Something going on with Bill Gates that, just look it up, that bought all this farmland. He bought like hectares and acres and hectares, whatever, of farmland, lots of it, that's right beside a military base in North Dakota. And the courts there, or someone in politics, is not too happy about that. And they're bringing it up. They're going to try to combat that because he's taking everything. And listen, China is also buying farmland in the United States. What the hell is going on? They're selling reserves of oil to China. I found that out a couple of days ago. This is really scary stuff. When you hear all that, all the military aid the Pentagon is now going to be sending to Ukraine, you go, what the hell is going on? They have poor people in the streets. There's veterans, both in Canada, but especially in the States, that are literally on the streets. I know there's some housing projects that people are, but it's personal people that are doing things for the veterans, not the government. They're not doing anything for the veterans, the government, but sending all that money when inflation is there at the same time that there's food shortages, which people are saying that those food shortages are all being created deliberately. Like they're trying to burn down all the shit, like the forests and everything. It looks like we're just looking and walking amongst people, destroying everything around us. And it's like, people are like, wow, that climate change is crazy. No more campfires. It's like, what the hell? All of a sudden that happens. It's impossible. They're making that shit up. The sun's really bad. If you haven't checked out the last video, please do, because it's a very unique way of viewing the sunspots on the sun. I was going to say the moon, and they're really cool to see. Julie and Floyd, thank you again for that. Even the flag, and I'll be showing you that shirt. I have some amazing people that send me some cool letters sometimes and some gifts, like the stickers. And Julie's always thinking of me. And Floyd, thanks, guys. There he is, Sab the Seeker. Oi, oi. So that Burns in the house too. Got to scroll down now to be sure Sab's not writing. Like Sab says, and everybody tells me, went by and I commented, Bruce, at the end of your stream, I'm up between the kids and stuff, and crickets. Bruce answers 2 hours later, hey, Sab. Sab was down to the grocery store with his kids somewhere along the road. Thank you very much, Super Dave 44. Super Dave 44 streams you guys himself too, and he shows us such incredible areas, especially during Christmas. If during Christmas, Super Dave 44 is a channel you want to hang out on. Very festive guy, and he shows these incredible places. I just love you, man. And in my life, it's all about connecting with real people. There's a lot of hypocrites on YouTube. We all know it. And most of the ones that are really bad on YouTube sometimes are the smiliest ones at the beginning, and they turn on you. On the news, saw a river almost completely dried out. Another thing that's going on. Have you heard my American friends, Hoover Dam, and where Mead Lake is, Lake Mead? I watched a guy who has been showing Lake Mead continually the past 2 or 3 months. I've never been, but there's dates written with signs when the water goes down each year, and like 2010, 2000, whatever, 14, I don't know when they started, and it's over. There's no more water. It's going down, completely down, boats that were underwater just 3 months ago, and this is true what I'm telling you because I've seen it live. It's not like the fire. The boats are coming out of the water, and they're not water anymore. Now they're like, the water's like much lower than them. There's like a thick mud or clay there that, it's just, there's no more water and it's drying. I'm not sure. If I'm not mistaken, Hoover Dam should be able to refill that or something. I don't know anything about the geography or how everything's set up, but it seems to me there maybe two sides to Lake Mead. I don't know, maybe one side with the Hoover Dam or whatnot. But I thought I heard them say that I thought I saw a putty tap. I thought I heard them say they could fill up the lake, but that's drinking water for millions of people, Lake Mead, and fishermen there. Apparently Lake Mead is an incredible area to go and fish. Fat Belly in the house. Diversity is the reason for concrete barriers. I love that. I agree with that. Mr. 86, thanks. I heard it was Dumbs. Could be. Look, we got the CERN started up now. That just started up, people, and I almost regret asking, hey guys, let's take note if anything happens after the CERN starts up. It's going crazy, left and right going crazy. Other news is coming out. I don't know if you guys heard it. China declared having reached an alien civilization to make contact or heard a message, not make contact, they said made contact. There's also Nelson, the administrator of NASA, that's saying that China is trying to take over the moon. Okay. And we got people laughing about that. I don't know why people would laugh about that. China's taking over Canada. Well, I live in China right now. Everything from the pharmacy is from China. And if you want to order something from here, I don't order anything anymore because everything's from China. Great prices in China, right? $86 in China or 600 here. Doesn't make any sense, but that's how things are. Lisa, that really means a lot. I thank you so much. The Euphrates River. And Gaynor, welcome. Is that one getting low too? Vatican burnt down. Freaking awesome. Now, members, Squirrely Crypto. Yeah, well, it's a false call, I think. We don't know. I don't think it burned down, actually. There's some people are trying, but hey, burn. Some people are trying, that's for sure. Thanks, Squirrely Crypto. Moonbin Lovely, UK. Guys, I'm not seeing the moon because I had a storm here yesterday, lightning storm. Over there, okay, in the south is where the moon's been setting. Have you been seeing the last 3 days where the moon's going up, where the moon's going down? It's in the south and it's staying low in the sky. And look at the last video of the sun. And let me know if you've never seen a sun video or my sun videos. Let me know if you appreciate the sunspots. We see plasma all around it, a plasma cloud lifting up. We're probably 24 hours away, maybe 48 hours away from a coronal mass ejection or solar storm. And you know how I can predict that? I don't predict it. The sun tells me. I've been right every time. Go look in the past. I mentioned it 2 days before. Watch what happens. Big friggin' earthquake. And where do the earthquakes occur? Right there on the globe where I always talk about it with my Trump hat on it. It's in the southern Pacific Ocean. Everything, every terrain around there, Japan, everything that's around there is what's rocking all the time when the sun activates. OBX Arms, thank you so much for being here. Did you see the link? I posted that link. And of course, unfortunately, like OBX Arms asked me, if I'm not mistaken, maybe it wasn't you, but I think it was, says, where's the link? Where's the link of the Vatican fire? So I shared it with him. And now I'm here telling you all that Vatican link was smoke that really was beside the Vatican, but the fire wasn't. It was close, right? Maybe it was close. We don't know how many miles away. If several junkyards caught on fire and the big smoke was rising up in the eastern part of the capital, all the wind brought all that smoke over to the Vatican. They were on high alert from the terror attack, real terror attack, 4 or 5 weeks before. So I wouldn't have found out about the terror attack. Thanks again, OBX Arms. I wouldn't have found out about the terror attacks 4 weeks before if I didn't, look that up. So, yes, holy smokes, Gripper, as they say, for sure. Let me scroll all the way down, and if I'm missing some people, whoops, I think, I just missed CL3 is in the house. CL3, thanks for coming here. He's the one. He goes, thanks for the mention, Bruce. He heard the same thing. CL3 heard it, and the community said, Bruce heard about a Vatican fire. So I said, thanks for letting me know. I went to see it, and I posted what I saw about the Vatican fire. But unfortunately, maybe somebody had been playing us. But again, there are explosions, and the Italian police did not declare that it wasn't terrorism or extremist groups or just a one-time thing by somebody that was drunk or whatnot. They're going to have to do an investigation on that, and we're going to be listening to see if something else happens. Who knows? Something else can happen. Hey, Heine, thank you very much. 11:05. Thank you for tuning in. Copenhagen, that's awesome, you guys. Yeah, they're pushing so hard. Yoga with Denise, how's it going? Nice to see ya. Pat Tracy, thanks for being here. 3 p.m. in the Vatican. 38 p.m. in the Vatican. I'll be there. Maria, hello to you. Alyssa, thanks for the comments, you guys, too. Really appreciate that. Super Dave, thank you for mentioning that. The wheat fields in Ukraine. Yeah, and look, I'm going to go all out. Probably not going to like that I mentioned this. Information, I've been staying neutral between, honestly, excuse the expression, fuckhead Putin and the fuckheads in Ukraine. I'm staying away from all the shit that's going on. There's two innocent people. All the civilians in both of those countries are innocent. And you have the higher ups that are doing bullshit, putting our prices up. Okay. Biden did that. Don't forget. Right? That's what's happening. Biden's blaming Russia and Putin for, they even blamed Russia for the elections that were rigged. The elections were rigged. They showed all the proof, the documentation, the people that were passing the Biden papers one after the other. They hid the windows, they threw some out, they stayed there 24 hours up all night passing Biden, votes and stuff like that. No, that's something. You can't talk much about it, and the dismantling of the CIA and everything, it's all going on. It's all going on. And then the UFO report comes out. They're talking about, we don't know if it's an adversarial country or if it's a foreign country that are whizzing around with the lights. They're buzzing up and out of the oceans at high rates of speed, going to say hello, cuckoo, to submarines that are in the bottom of the ocean, and they think it's like an adversarial country. Are they that advanced? And that's what it comes down to, is that it's always been, remember this, the Cold Wars, the Cold War and the space race. It never stopped. That they're in it now, and China, I believe, is going to do a lot of crap on the moon. And I'm not saying that the U.S. won't either, and maybe Russia either, but we don't know. Russia's maybe more quiet, or we're not doing enough research about it, or I am not. But if China and the States are having wars here on Earth since the beginning of time and before we were born, I think there's also going to be wars on the moon when people go to the moon, right? China found a building on the moon, or a square object. It was named the hut, the house. There's a whole bunch of nicknames that they gave for it. There were 200 and some yards or whatever meters. I don't know how much feet, actually, 268 feet away. They're going to take 3 months to get to the object. And as they were progressing, they were supposed to take pictures of the object to see what it was. Not a friggin' word about the structure on the moon, except for that we know NASA's supposedly with the Artemis program in 2025, they said they're going back to the moon. Capstone was sent to the moon, already there. Somebody said it was already there, but I heard it was, it's already there, but it's going to be there for 3 or 4 months, going around in the atmosphere and analyzing and studying and documenting the number and the gravity that's around the moon, to know if they can actually probably have the first moon landing. Because don't forget, they said that in the past, they lost how to go to the moon because that was damaged on the way back. And the film strip that was also damaged on the way back, that they said somebody erased it by mistake, or they recorded over it with another mission. Lots of bullshit that they can tell you, and we'll never be able to prove it. The leaks come out from the inside of NASA, the CIA, and all that. And that's the only way they're going to be talking about it. Roswell and all that, as a matter of fact, this all came from the inside. It's people on the inside that wanted some truth. MK Ultra, the mind control experiments, it's CIA on the inside that first brought that out because they were concerned. So it's good to know that there are some human CIA members that are maybe worried about the things that are going on, that behind the curtains. Daniel, Stan, thank you for being here. Yeah, that's it. That's what everyone's focused on. Hey, His Highness, thank you. Ottawa listening in. It sucks an intentional food shortage. They're assholes. Absolutely, David. And OBX Arms, thanks again, eh? The generous contributions, you guys. I really appreciate that. Yeah, it sucks an intentional food shortage. Yeah, I don't understand that, but there's it's hard to understand what's good and what's not. And I do have a lot of people telling me, yeah, but Bruce, they're corrupt and those places have to be taken down and stuff. I get it. Some places are going to have to be taken down.
The whole system's going to have to be taken down and reorganized. But I think the sun's going to speak before the sun. I was so pissed off by the pandemic and the cove that I was hoping that the sun was going to take the electrical grid down so that we wouldn't have to hear these idiots telling us to wear masks. Put on a mask. You're in a plane, put on a mask or you will never be able to travel again. Put on a mask. You're hot? Oh, hang on, we'll turn on the air. There we go. No dangers with the masks. Okay, snack time. Masks off. Oh, phew. All right. It's safe to eat without the masks. Clown world we live in. Jim Brewer is a comedian, and I'm not going to steal his act because I heard him just the past couple of weeks. He did one hell of a stand up about the pandemic. Jim Brewer, Breuer. You have to look him up. He's hilarious, and he's very religious guy too. So is his wife. He spoke about the pandemic, laughing in a laughing way, and I think more comedians should come out that way and really talk about what was going on. That was really funny. Brenda, thanks for being here. Brenda, because they were torched to starve people. Yeah, that's exactly. We need trees to cycle our oxygen. Yes. And to take care of the carbon footprint, right? As everyone's saying, the carbon footprint. Trees, if you look at how much trees gives us oxygen, the oxygen on Earth, I guarantee you, is 80-90% of the water. That's what's giving us oxygen here. Trees, 1 or 2%. It's actually very surprising. Look up the facts. We asked 1,000 people whether it's real or not. Trees do a lot of other things, though. The tree is the digestion system of Earth. Part of its digestion system. It changes the carbon into the bark, and then it breathes in carbon monoxide at night. I mean, everything's perfect with the trees, but when we see them taking down massive chunks of the Amazon, and they pushed out a lot of tribe members there. That was a horrible story. Heard that a couple of years ago, the horrible story, even heard of all the deaths, and it's like it's under the table now, the story. It's too bad because it's continually going on, eh? It's an attack on humanity, and people are starting to stand up and speak up. And I don't think we're going to take any more of the bullshit lockdowns and going back to resorting to the masks. I don't think it's going to happen. But let me tell you, with the Georgia Guidestones and all the action going on, I don't think we're going to worry about a pandemic anymore. They're talking about a new ninja virus. Well, don't ninjas come from China? Won't even get into that. Just want to know what they give two shits about why we need to know what the black holes, why. See, that's another thing, Lisa. They invested billions of dollars. Have you all seen James Webb's last image of very far away stars? Do you notice that? James Webb is really far out there. You'd think they'd get closer to things like Saturn and stuff. No, instead, they're really far out and they're getting more pictures of faraway shit. They want to see in the corners them, right? It makes me laugh. Why do they want to find out about black holes? Well, maybe, Lisa, the black hole that's in the Milky Way, Sagittarius A, that was designated a star a couple of years ago, is now a confirmed supposed black hole. They're studying dark matter. They want to understand black holes. So the CERN is doing collisions now 24/7, 1 billion collisions per second. And all those collisions are being documented and stored on a computer. Do you think anyone will ever have time to look at those collisions? Impossible. Imagine every second, billions of collisions. Imagine the size of the computer at CERN. Imagine what they're doing. No, Bruce, it's only a play they did with that guy. They're pretending to kill that girl in front of the Shiva statue. Don't worry about it. Why would they be playing around like that with that? What would you do if you go home, to see your grandmother on the weekend, but it just so happens she's outside in the shed smoking a joint with a neighbor and having a beer? She's 96. See, is it normal? No, it's not normal. You see something not normal at CERN. There's guards there at CERN. It's all barricaded. There's nobody there walking around looking at the Shiva statue at night having a smoke there, right? Even the people inside working there must be locked out of the yard and the gates. Thank you so much, Alyssa. Atomic Mozart, thank you. I appreciate that, guys. Thanks a lot. My feet's in menopause. I'm scrolling all the way down now. All the way down, my friends. I'll do it. It's because it's all the people that I miss when I scroll down. I always feel bad. Tony Brooks in the house. James Webb Telescope. Come see the face of a dime 25 miles away. Yes, that's absolutely true. The same way they said the radio telescopes around the world, especially one of the biggest ones, can hear the sound of a snowflake hitting the ground and making big meters move on the radio telescopes. People that live near radio telescopes have authorities all the time at their homes. One woman had a toaster, or was it a toaster? No, it was a heating pad in a doghouse that was heating and was making a little noise, beep, 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 because there was a fault in the wire. The radio telescope heard the fault in the wire and located with all these big equipment, a guy went to the house, bought her another heater, found that it was the heater. I mean, can you think of it? You can't even have phones in the areas so that it doesn't disturb the radio telescope. So yeah, James Webb Telescope can see a dime many miles away. Damn right. You can probably see the Queen's eyeball on a Canadian dime. Anyways, for sure. Dragon Sage, thanks so much for being here. So now I'm more into the right area there. In front of you says, yes, they should spend more time and money doing the planet more good. I totally agree with that, my friends. Hey, Christopher Rollins, Emmy's in the house. You send a Texas-sized steak if you send me rain. Well, I'll tell you what, I can make it rain, eh? Be careful. I can make it rain. In Texas, not too much either, because you guys have flat surface. You have problems getting rid of your rain. Your abundance of rain bring you guys alligators, I heard. I'm learning. I've never learned so much. Have we not learned so much about all the countries in the past few years? Who knew about Puerto Rico and all those other countries? It's a beautiful country, but I'm saying, you know what I mean? Who knew about what was going on in the other countries? Now we're hearing a lot. First time I heard not too long ago in Texas that everything was flat and the water was accumulating, and very weird in some of the beaches there. It's like big stones that are cut along the beaches in Texas. Just in case. Wow. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Very generous. Thanks for the contributions, you guys. Thank you very, very much. Josie, Maine Coon, how's it going? We have had lots of rain lately here in New Zealand. Love New Zealand. And on my bucket list, I wish I could go there one day. All the paddocks are flooded. Thanks a lot for letting me know that. Out of curiosity, you say lately, has this been in the past week? Because in the past week, we have a very aggressive sun that's starting back up since April and May. Not much occurred. I'm going to go back into, watch this. June. In June, there was a halo, a coronal mass ejection on the east limb of the sun that shot out. And that's all that happened way back since May and April. But now the sun, as it is today, there's a danger for, I think it's the 3053 or 3055. Both sunspots are in great danger, guys, of shooting some more radiation onto us. And those who don't know about what that does, well, it can cause a solar flare when the magnetic lines align. It's all about magnetism. Everything in the solar system is about magnetism. We went through those alignments of the planets, which won't be back till 2040, apparently. And even though they say that, and ever notice how they say that? We won't get another alignment till 2040. And then next year, they're going to say there's an alignment in June. They do that a lot. I see them do that a lot also. Dragon Sage, thanks so much for being here. Catherine Gill, thanks. Nice to see you guys. Black holes scare me. Seeing event horizon. Scare me. Seeing event horizon. Yeah, it's scary, but there must be millions, if not billions, of black holes around us. And again, it's all dark matter. So we can't see them, but we can see what's around them. Black holes are so heavy, even though it's supposed to be nothing, and it creates a dimple in space and time, in the fabrics of space and time. And we can see all the light around it. And they're studying the coronas around black holes. And that's about as much as I know about black holes. this year and the end of last year was when I really started studying black holes, and it's this a bit too. I mean, it's incredible. I'll never be a black hole genius, that's for sure. But then again, nobody knows about it. Dark matter is something that's unknown. They're creating elements at CERN, dark energy and elements unknown to the entire universe, not just on Earth, things that they've never seen before. CERN is opening miniature, they say, black holes. We're not going to lie there. We all imagine when they say they're opening black holes, they can open a big one. Well, they probably can. They probably can. But right now, they say that they're opening small black holes. But they up the power from 3.6 electron volt to now 13.6 electron volt. And again, it's been turning. This has been not colliding. The particles have been turning the beams since April 2022. They only started colliding a couple of days ago. And when that started, well, whether it be coincidence or not, I talked about it. The weather changed. Lots of weather's changing, right? We haven't seen an earthquake in a while. Why? Because the sun has not been active. Volcanic activity here on Earth coincides like a heartbeat with the sun. The correlation between both of them, they're one, right? Just like the moon with the effects of the moon with the tides and everything. You can only imagine back in the Bible times if they said that there was a flood and in 40 days it rained. Well, could that just not be an incredible solar maximum storm that maybe the sun let go 3 coronal mass ejections and it just rained into oblivion, and just filled everything up? And it could be that. Again, why are those particles at CERN immeasurably heavy? It's funny you say that. According to relativity, they should be. So OBX arms, what if they, I guess if I'm stupid with this, if they're traveling at high speeds and they're trying to reach the speed of sound, those particles could, I guess they get heavy with speed. They get heavier, or I'm not saying this like I mean I'm serious. I know what you're saying. It's lead on top of it or something, fine lead particles. Lead's very heavy. I've worked in lead, and a bar of lead's very, very heavy, and maybe they're looking for it to be a bit heavier for collisions. But if it was, imagine if they were sending ball bearings around at that size. Imagine the collision with that. There's only going to be one. So I guess they got all this dust going around and stuff, and it's pretty intriguing at the CERN, eh? When the dust particles or whatnot are going around, they have these walls that close in to find to bring it to a point where that laser is going around. That beam starts going around almost at the speed of light. It starts really making it thinner, and as vice versa, as they're both going around, and then they're changed into a circle where they must go around once and then collide. And then they have all this registered on a whole bunch of different cameras. Some people are looking for the dark matter element. Some people are looking for the speeds and everything. So you can only imagine how many people are there doing this. They shut it down for several years, eh? CERN, they shut it down for 2.5 to 3 years, I think. And then after that, the pandemic hit. Like they were building it better, build back better. The CERN is basically what they did. You got to wonder how much money they invested. Peter Benton, thanks so much, bro. Hey everyone, Bruce, what the frig are you doing on a Wednesday night? Wow, awesome, man, but I'm working. Hey, thanks a lot for listening in, man. Well, just real quick, thanks for the generous contributions, bro, and for being a member as always, man. Important to say that the Vatican fire, there were fires all around the Vatican, but there was no fire, I don't think, at the Vatican. So at the beginning of the stream, I talk about it. You can watch maybe just 20 minutes and you'll get that truth about what's out there. So they are on high alert. 4 or 5 weeks ago, there was a terror attack with this guy in the car. Whether they can say that he was just driving drunk or not, but maybe it was an attack, a direct attack by extremist groups, because that's the ideal. That's what terror groups do. They can either hit in groups or they can go one by one and just, do a whole bunch of shit. That's could be very well what they're doing. Peter, thanks so much, man. I appreciate that. Just in case, and everyone, thanks for the generous contributions. It's greatly appreciated. Sammy M says 106 degrees outside here in Central Texas. So you guys need a little bit of rain, right? You guys are going to need some rain because that's a little dangerous. Thanks again, Mr. Benton. Yeah, absolutely. OBX arms, they can't get to it. It's like that with everything, right? Like even a lightning bolt, or it gets to the speed and then it stops. Why can't we go faster than the speed of light? Well, what we can do though is change what the speed of light is. That's an incredibly interesting thing. I'm all smiley eyed because I'm a dumbass, and finding out just that is more than I ever learned in math in school. But different temperatures, different heights and altitudes on different planets and different atmospheres around certain celestial objects, I would predict that every single planet, the speed of light is going to be different as you're traveling through space every so many kilometers, and you're going by a star. Everything's going to be different. If it's hotter, if it's colder, right? Like that effect with the plane when they're traveling at a certain speed, and then they get that lag in the gauges, and they get the lag in a time where things dip down. So interesting. It always reminds me of time travel. Actually, you say, whoa, is that what happens in time travel? Everything stops, sun disappears, and you just pow, Back to the Future, like sort of travel. I wouldn't jump in a machine. Hell no. I think we maybe already are in a machine. Rational Mind Riot, thanks for being here. Emmy, did I miss what Emmy said? Sorry about that, you guys. Yeah, the Schumann's been off the charts. Absolutely. Daily, 8 hours at a time. So that's another thing that's really, really true. Thanks for the generous contributions, you guys. Emmy, in June, the just passed last month, there was a small solar flare at 2.4 or 2.8, something like that. But it lasted for 5, 6, 7 hours. It lasted for a long time. And it's very surprising because just a month before that, in May and April, the very small sunspots that were not, scientists in no way expected any activity to come from that, like a solar flare or a coronal mass ejection. It let go one hell of a halo. And it was coming from a sunspot that was really small and that really wasn't hot. When you look at my videos, you're going to see all black spots, like on an orange, all around the sunspots. And that's the cooling phases that are around the sunspots when it gets convection really hot, and then it goes back down. So they got blinkers on the sun, eh? Blinkers, they jump up like thousands of degrees in Fahrenheit, and they go back down. And apparently it's always happening on the surface. So when the field lines go across that and you get the heat close to that, and then poof, let's go one hell of a solar flare. And it takes a couple of days for it to get to Earth, depending on its size, of course. That's interesting, Elroy. Shredding. I'd believe it. I mean, sort of like a spear, like a tube or something like that. Yep, exactly. Tera electron volts. It's a lot more than 1 volt. 13.6 Emmy. Think of it. Think of the power that's being exerted for that. I don't know if you guys were watching when they were starting up the CERN. Everyone looks so freaking happy. They just have to be doing something wrong. Boy, they were excited to get that going and probably obviously get their salaries back. Out to lunch. Why is on tonight? That's a picture of what? Well, these icons are so bloody small on YouTube, eh? Pepper's on tonight. Yeah, OBX arms. That's another one. HARP. And HARP there, listen, they're beaming microwaves into the sky, and they say that it's very fine points of the microwave, and they're beaming that into the bloody magnetosphere. So the sun affects the magnetosphere. When the sunspots have plasma rings around them, halos around them, and they're just talking about that now in science, of saying that it's really affecting the Earth's magnetosphere. So it's actually affecting the chemistry of the whole atmosphere around the sun, the whole chemistry that makes the clouds the way they are, the currents the way they are. When everything changes, the currents will change. And if the currents change, all satellites will have to change. All planes will have to change trajectories, because planes over the years have a deliberate path, not just because it's over houses or between mountains. So they have to follow the currents. And what's happening with the shift and everything is changing on Earth. So is it Earth changing? Is it the sun changing? Is it the moon changing? It's a domino effect. Everything's going to change at the same time. Thanks, Silver Lining. Thanks again, Elroy. Shredding. Tony Brooks in the house. Scientists, how are you, Tony? Hope you're doing well, my friend. Scientists say if you can orbit on the black hole event horizon, you can generate vast amounts of energy. Uh-oh. So you know what, eh? All we have to do is get objects. It's stupid. A sixth grader could have thought of that, eh? Making objects going around, collecting all the energy around the black holes, and then just beaming that with a laser back to Earth on this big mirror and sending it into, what we need to do, is to be able to consume the energy, to be able to put a sun blast of plasma coming down to Earth and just hold that in a box and continually having it in the box. Well, free energy. They're already there and they don't want to share it with us. It's too bad, because they want us to pay. Never understood why the elites needed our money. They have a money system too. Whoever's in charge of them or they're dealing with, I'm starting to wonder, aliens must have dollars them too. They must be using some type of space euro or something. And it makes me laugh what the currency is, if there is a currency. Is there a universal currency, you think? You think it's all the planets around the world are using all currency? Like, there's a galactic federation. Is it like a bank that collects all bills, like from Pluto, from Uranus, and from Uranus, and just all this money, different money from Saturn and all this? I think I'm losing it. Maybe I'm losing it. Yep, they're close to the speed of light, not quite the speed of light. If they had headlights, if you're traveling at the speed of light and you have headlights, are your lights traveling faster than the speed of light? If they say North Pole is moving towards Russia, does that kind of make Mississippi move north too? It kind of does. It kind of makes everything move north. I had some people was it Ireland? I think it was in Ireland, or no, maybe not. I might be wrong about the place, but they were telling me how, I'm seeing it. All the summers are changing. The time, the length of the summers, like later in the year, and the snow starting later for us here. Anyways, in Quebec, there's lots of really different shifts in that. They built the LHC to find the Higgs boson. Yeah, God particle. They found that. So what are they doing now? You're absolutely right, Elroy Shredding. And for your shredding, everyone, head to Elroy Shredding. No, you're right about that, man. And another thing is that maybe I thought that's why they closed down, because they did find the God particle. You guys can all look it up. I'm sure you already have heard about it. The God particle, they talk about it. And now they're talking about a whole bunch of scary stuff like synthetic DNA and all that. And it's, I don't think it's something necessarily very, very good, for sure. We're shifting. We're in a shift, and the shift obviously doesn't happen in one day. It's over a long period of time. But like a dime or a quarter on a swivel that's turning around, it gets to the end, it goes much faster before it stops, and then it stops. I think that's where we're at, where the dime's going to spin faster before it stops and flops. Is it going to make one hell of a shift and earthquakes? Like, that's what I thought. Maybe it's and not even seeing it in movies. I don't watch movies. I assumed the shift would be a couple of days or weeks where we're going to see the moon on the other side of Earth. Try to follow along with me here. Going to see darkness because the sun might be only on one side continually. Maybe someone will see 3 days of the sun and we won't see any sun until everything resorts back. And I believe that all the time there's those shifts, in the distances between everything, because everything's in motion. Everything in space is always in motion. So of course, there's they say the moon's getting further away, even though it's what, not much, but over a long period of time, they say they're always getting further away, and can't help but wonder if we're going to see it. And we are seeing it, because when I started doing this research, even though it was only 6 years ago, it's going to be seventh year starting in August. But I've never noticed the moon changing like that during the equinox or the solstice and all that. Yes, there's a day where it's deliberate for a day 2 or 3 that the moon is completely out of place, but it's supposedly normal. But now we're seeing it throughout the year where everything's really jiggling around. It really doesn't make any sense. Yeah, little microns. Justin, thanks for being here again. Yes, Greta did it, and Biden. Thanks, Julie, for that. I did that. Biden did that. It's hilarious. Old bugger. Bobana, I think we have to watch Mount Graham in Arizona too. It's got something to do with the CERN. Very, very scary, eh? We have the big Vatican telescope that's in Arizona, and then somebody a couple streams back or videos back mentioned, yes, but at the Vatican there's something near there, another telescope for somewhere else, because that's what they do. The States, like during MK Ultra, were doing kidnappings and stuff like that, and lobotomies here in Canada, which they were hiding the address, right? There's lots of companies here in Montreal that are for you guys in the States, even for NASA. It's all here in Montreal, the whole way down to Montreal. You see all these companies. There's even I don't know. I'm not going to talk about it, but there's an experimentation on animals too, not far from here, my friends. I could get there in 20, 25, 30 minutes, and it's going unnoticed. PETA people were there, the animal people were there, and it's all being hidden, and the addresses are all changed to hide from the people. It's so simple. It's all this paying people money. So like Justin said, it's all Greta's fault. How dare you? They go and get a poor innocent girl, take her out of school to talk to adults about climate change, and you see 3 million adults going like this one, listening to her. I never understood it. The government say the past few years have been doing these really stupid things. That's why a lot of people are saying definitely aliens have taken over, and they didn't quite master or understand the ideal of the culture of humans. Definitely don't understand the culture, because the shit, excuse the expression, that the government is asking people to do. Are you like me? Are you insulted that people are actually doing what they're asking for? The stupid, ridiculous things that they're doing? That is crazy. Come on, be lenient. Drag queen story time, not for colleges, for babies. Kindergarten to 2. We must talk to them about genders, and we really have to explain to them about penis size. Seriously? Seriously? Can't the parents decide that about their children? But the parents don't own the children, right? The governments do. That's how it is. Pennsylvania. Yeah, it's funny, all right. Oliver Klein, how's it going? They're creating super heavy elements by bombarding them. Look at your period table. It has now over 200 elements. Absolutely over 200 elements. Remember when, excuse me, Bob Lazar talked about element 115. Is it 115, 118? I never get it right. You know what I mean? The element where it's supposedly propelling the UFOs by burning in the Hadron Collider, by the way, right in the center. CERN producing a permanent hum. See, that for me is something that I believe. Permanent hum, just like tinnitus. I love that you mentioned that. So yeah, I believe that it's not good. It's just they're under friggin' Switzerland, Geneva, and all this, and it's absolutely crazy the amount of energy that's that's being exerted there. I don't know. I don't think it's a good thing. A lot of people that do follow me, some of my good friends, say that it's all good and everything, but we don't know the whole story. And like, the satanic rituals and stuff that showed up, that some people were saying it was just a play, whether it was a play or a cartoon, it doesn't make any sense because it was right on the premises of CERN. So you can't help but wonder why the hell they would do that. Oh, things starting to jam up. I never know how many people are here. It'd be cool to know. I have no idea how many people stop by. And God particles, Big Bang, and black holes, BS science. Yeah, exactly. And they're all doing that, Oliver Klein, through mathematical equations by both Isaac Newton, mathematicians like Albert Einstein, that are not exactly precise to a hair. Like energy equal to mass mc squared. No, it's not a hairline too close to being the perfection. They're off a little bit. And every time we go a couple hundreds of years ahead, which still just looking back at the theories of Isaac Newton in 1666 and then Albert Einstein very recently, and we're just saying, okay, so if energy is equal to mc squared, well, let's see about Hiroshima. Okay, we overstepped a little bit. We almost blew the plane that dropped it right out of the sky. Next time we'll get it right. Through trial and error, they say, but trial and error is actually killing humans. For them, it's I'm laughing about it because I guess that's what we do. If you don't care about what's going on and no one's trying to fix it, we'll just, we laugh about it. Richard Hubbard, maybe they're not paying up. That's true. That is true. I think that's a very big possibility. Now it's gotten down where people are calling people and saying, listen, shit's happening. Do this or that, or I'm in or I'm out. We all know that elites are going to fight together. A lot dumber than we all are. They're going to fight together, right? Even North Pole, it's Joe Brandon. See the polls moving further away from Joe Biden this year. That's true. Hey, Bruce, is there a way to measure the distance from the moon? Yeah, of course. They do it. Lots of measures. How it's really done, it can be done with a telescope, and they do it with telescopes and mirrors. There's actually a mirror on the moon, and that test was done. And they bounce a laser onto the moon, and they subtract the amount of time that it takes for the laser to hit the moon and to come back and then bounce back. So there are ways to detect the distance, but is the way that they're detecting the distance real? Like when they say, oh, look, the computer tells us it's 268,000 miles away. What if it's not, right? The sun and the moon are seen as the same size. It's very confusing. And a lot of people in the controversy world and, speculation world bring up a lot of theories. A lot of you ask me often, Bruce, do you think the moon is further than they say? I'll be honest with you. When you look with a telescope, the moon is very far to zoom into. So I can't help but wonder if it's a little bit far, but if you'd ask me about the sun, I'm sorry, it looks like the sun is about the same distance. As a theory, I find it interesting that it could be the same distance. James Allenberger, thank you very much. I didn't see him. Thanks so much, Sammy M, for welcoming the new people. OBX arms, the particles at CERN are traveling at 99.999% the speed of light. Yep. They should have extreme mass according to relativity, and they don't. That was my point. Yeah, absolutely. That's why I'm asking you, should they not be heavier? And yes, you're telling me that they should be heavier. So is it just bullshit that they're telling us, or is it not lead particles that they're smashing together? Of course, extreme mass. Think of the collision. At high rates of speed. You got wind blowing by you during a nuclear or atomic bomb explosion. It blows you the hell off your feet and busts through windows. Yeah. Collision. The displacement of air and everything that must be happening within that bloody machine. Yeah, greetings from Germany, almost midnight here. Peace messenger, thank you very much. Hey, Alpha Kush, how's it going? Attention incoming 1K like Oh my gosh, Alpha Kush, are you serious? If so, I don't know how some of you do that, but if that's real, I thank you very much. Appreciate it, you guys. Thanks, my man. Super Dave in the house. E. Richard says, sounds like St. Anne de Bellevue. Oh, I know St. Anne de Bellevue. St. Anne de Bellevue. Ew. Ho, 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 ho. Ho, 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 ho. Yes, E. Richard. Right in the money, E. Richard. Wow. Didn't think anyone was around Montreal area or that would have known that. Yeah, you're absolutely right, eh? Little doing a little exercise there. Yep. American address. It's got an American address, E. Richard. There. And if you look on Google Maps and stuff like that, it's not there. It's hidden. They got the address somewhere else, comes somewhere else. But yep, you're right on right on the money there. Just saying, fam, Revelations 18:23. And because they made Silver Lining says made their merchants nobility of earth, all the nations were deceived by their pharamachia. Listen, we've all been deceived. We've all been deceived. And I'm one that I talk about it from time to time. John John Blank. What an idiot. Sorry, man. John Black. Yeah, you said it. You just said it. You're dead on the money with that. But it's the ones that are talking about, yeah, that whole group, like Disney and everything. Very, very sad with what's going on. And yeah, they're groomers inside of the schools in the States. And I saw I saw people like in Congress saying everyone should have a tranny at school. And I heard this with my own ears that they're talking about, gay people having gay people at school. Wouldn't it be okay to leave gay people alone? And I've heard most of the gay people that are telling me talk about embarrassment, what the government's doing. That's sort of very insulting to gay people and telling people don't say gay. Anyway, I'm not understanding what's going on. I just know a lot of gay people here online on the channel, and I know a lot of gay people around town and everything. And what does it change? Why do we have to focus on them? Everyone should be free, right? No matter what your color, you should be free. If a black man is smarter than a white man to be president in a town, that guy should be president. If a pink person is smarter than a blue guy, well, that person should be president, right? If a woman has more competence to be president, she should be president too. I get it. They say, oh, it's a woman, she's not going to look very mean. Why? I know some mean women. I know some good mean women that could be president. We have some strong women figures, and it's true, eh? In politics, women have a tendency, except Harris. Seriously, women have a tendency of doing far better jobs in politics than some of the guys. That's for sure. We got the women running the CIA now, FBI's and all that. So it's these intelligent units and everything. These are all women running the show. So, but we're still plunged back in the ice age, with racism and all this crap. It's just absolutely crazy. Hey, E. Richard, imagine how many people know if you brought that up like that. John Black, thanks, for being here, man. Gray Shields, Bonnie, Scotland, beautiful Scotland. Definitely another bucket list place. Celestial Magnetic, how's it going? Let me scroll down here. How am I with the time? Am I doing good? Oh, there's a lot of people here. That's why. It's because there's a lot of people here. Permit me to get a quick coffee, my friends. I'll be right back. 20 seconds. I'll try 30 seconds. Don't you love it when somebody says, I'll be back in 30 seconds and they leave all afternoon? I do want to stay on a little bit with you guys because Safe House Delta, thank you. At the same time, Valkyrie, thank you very much. At the same time, I want to thank some of you that have not had the time to come to my streams at night because of the times that you guys work and everything. And I just really want to thank you all. I started the YouTube channel because my grandmother went to church. She gave a lot of money to the church. She gave all her money to the church all the time, every week. And I found it really sad when some of the lies came out in religion, because, religious people have nothing to worry about. You'll never lose your faith, and, believe in your God and don't stop doing it. But some people, and I may be wrong, should be a little open-minded, though, about the fact that maybe parts of the Bible were taken out. I believe that lots of parts are omitted in the Bible, that instead of saying a lie, they're just going to exclude something that's going to leave us totally lost. Like certain religions, without aiming any religion, Catholics, they say, don't read the Maccabees, don't read the Old Testament, or don't read this. Why? Don't read the Book of Enoch. That's bullshit. Don't read this. Don't read that. Just read everything and make your own decision. But unfortunately, what we are reading is an Arabic translation, right? So that's the scary part. I don't think anyone will ever know what's written in the Bible. They will, but some of these things in the Bible were, they came up with meanings and interpretations. It's written in the Bible itself that God says, he who changes the words in this Bible, whatever, 10 times fold the plagues and everything. Well, I think they did change the Bible. So living through their teeth about everything. Yes, OBX Arms. Very true, man. 1666, Isaac Newton. 666. Imagine in the 1600s. In the 1600s, now we're understanding with the dumb sperm counts that they're killing off our sperm counts. It's since 2011. Look at the charts. Yeah, I'm that crazy looking up sperm levels. I'm telling you guys, we plunge down into stupidity, and the next generations coming are not going to be any painters and not much, unless we change what's happening. The human race has been changed how many times and through how many ways and means. Were they using synthetic DNA back hundreds of thousands of years ago? I think pretty much with the synthetic DNA is why we're like this. Why did humans live longer back in the days? Imagine being alive 1,000 years and knowing everything about your government. 1,000 years. Wouldn't they have a hard time with people that got that old, that have to abolish them? And then maybe come up with a master plan that, well, if humans only lived about 100 years, by the time they get, to a certain age, they'll be too old and they won't want to be, protesting anymore and jumping fences. So it sort of limits us on, imagine a guy in the middle of his, most powerful years. The guy's like, I don't know, 120. And he's hyped, Did people get old, physically old quickly or less quickly in the past? Is it true? They talk about the Bible, Moses and Adam and Eve and all being 860 or 1,200 years old. Some of them, it's like, whew, wow. Lots of parts left out, omitted out of the Bible. And I like not picking the religious people, but sometimes, they tell me, Bruce, did you do this? Did you read that? Did you read this? And I say, well, did you know Moses killed someone? No, he didn't. Yes, he did. I'm totally open to hearing what you have to say, my friend, but Moses did kill someone. God forgave him for that. No, he didn't. Yes, he did. He was also a soldier. How many people did he kill there? He was an Egyptian soldier. And he ran from Egypt because he had killed someone and they wanted to kill him. He was worried about they were going to kill him. So I get into conversations like that and they get so mad. Say, well, what reference are you talking to? What guy, Book of Enoch and all that. A lot of you were telling me to look into it. and the Old Testament and all that. I've been pondering through everything. I never sat down for a whole year and just read the Bible. Nope. I continually go and see things that pop up without really draining my mind, without making it boring, trying to keep it interesting and related to my research in ufology. If any of you just got to the channel for the first time, finally, I did see some new people here this week. If it's just really for real new people, I thank you for the thumbs up, my friends. And like my friend that said for the thumbs up, it helps the channels and the creators and the algorithm get recommended by YouTube to other people. And the notifications are hard to get out here. And are you serious, Valkyrie 594? They really have 1.6 K likes on this stream, guys. I thank you very much. If that is so, I can't thank you all enough. Thank you very, very much. It means a lot. I'm gonna stop complaining about not getting likes, then. That would be awesome. What's the matter, guys? Did Rogers going down stop the trolls from coming to the channel? I don't know. Not gonna say a word about it, but I appreciate it, guys. Encouragement. That's what you got to do if you want me to make more videos. Encourage me. But the newcomers, thanks for taking the time to subscribe. And if you don't, you don't have to. But if you do, it's an extra little thank you. I have videos with a 14-inch scope, and I got really close to the moon, showing colors, and I caught some UFOs also on the moon that I believe are real. So please take the time to check that out, because it's just will be more. The more we are, the merrier we are. There are a lot of incredible comments that you guys teach me so much, and OBX Arms and everyone, when you bring up things that I don't know about, I research them, and it's really helping me. What did somebody say the other day? I don't know. I think it was CL3 says, we all of us combined together, the CL3 channel said we're like a human computer, and it's true. We're sort of like better than Wikipedia. Wikipedia, I trust Wikipedia more than I trust Biden and Trudeau. I'll tell you that. But all the information's there, and you have to look, around. And 243 watching now. Laura, thanks you guys for letting me know that. Thank you so much. The more encouragement, the more people there are, and the more views and people are interested with the streams. I'm never going to stop the research, but I can come on a bit more often. There must be something in the air, times of revelation, for me to come on twice this week. And Wednesday, I'll still be here twice on Friday. That's what we do here, my friends. 1 o'clock on Fridays, and at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, 1 and 8 p.m. Every Friday, we do a 2-hour stream, 90% of the time, and 2 hours in the afternoon and 2 hours in the evening. And we talk about events like the fires or the Vaticans or satellites, everything is space related. We have a hell of a lot of fun. You say there's a mirror. You can see the mirror on the moon. Yeah, I don't know if we can see the mirror. I don't know. Probably not, but maybe we do see squares. But there is a mirror, at least several mirrors that were left there during missions, supposedly, where they're doing tests by beaming off of that mirror. I guess it's used for the radio telescopes and everything, whatnot, to be able to know the distance and probably the continual distance of the moon, and maybe for some other tests or experiments that they do. They do a ping. They ping the moon, and it pongs them back, and then it tells them supposedly the distance. Very interesting. Wow, that's hard to believe, guys. 1.7, that'd be awesome. Absolutely amazing. You guys know I'm always complaining because usually well, the likes, I don't complain because I get a couple of hundreds of likes, but it's the comments, 100 comments on all videos, no matter how many views I get. The last stream, I did get some new people at the stream, so this is why I'm going to mention it. This stream, if you're listening, I do research in ufology. I'm an amateur ufologist. I'm an amateur astronomer, and I'm doing a lot of experimentation, simple experimentation. And as much as some people say my work is so unique, I bring the exposure down, and I try to get through the light on the moon and show people what's there. So Trump never fell off a bike. There you go, Richard. Richard, that's true. Trump never fell off his bike. Biden did, though. Poor Biden. And when they talked about him, and sir, CNN was lying about that, They were When he fell off the bike, they said something, a bunch of bullshit lies. Probably said somebody pulled his shoelace or something, or a Trump supporter tried to untie his shoes while he was pedaling. They'd say something like that. Please tell us about the vid you saw with the light above the Vatican. Yes, Safe House Delta, with pleasure. With pleasure. And in the last live stream, man, please do go and check in the comment section of the last live stream, not the last video right before this, the live stream from yesterday. I posted a whole lot of links. I hope I posted that one in there. And in the video, I'm going to talk about it. In the video, they're showing the fire, which is close to the Vatican again, because like we found out before and confirmed, not confirmed, but the fires, the junkyard started in the park, went to many junkyards, many buildings, and just that was causing an incredible plume of dark smoke, which we were saying the dark smoke is oil. Well, yeah, you were probably right about the oil coming from the junkyard, just burning metal, tires, and oil, which is another thing that's not too good. And they were on high alert, but I watched the video that I posted. So that's the link that you want to go to in the last stream. And you will see a fire, but at the end of the road, on top in the video, man, listen, you see a UFO ball. And I'm not lying. It's all the links that I posted. It's right there. It's the first video. When you click on the link, you'll see a thin telephone video with beige, nice, big, tall, beige, older buildings out of big stones or big stones. And you see a UFO ball on the top. If it's not the sun, suns aren't that big. Okay? And it literally looks like the sun in the sky, but a UFO. And around that, you have that massive bright light and all this, what looks like fusioning. So when I saw that yesterday, I said, holy crap, that's a hell of a fire near the Vatican. But not knowing the roads either, there really was a fire and they really are on high alert. They still are. And Italy's on high alert for extremist groups that have been doing, certain terrorist attacks around Italy. And I heard a couple of explosions around Italy at the same time they talked about the Vatican. So that's why I was really confused about that. But we're able to find some truth about it. But again, it doesn't mean that by me saying that nothing happened at the Vatican, I don't want to be the one that's telling or confirming that. But I'm confirming what they talk about. False flag, hoaxes or not, they showed the Vatican with smoke that was literally touching its building, and it was all around the Vatican. So that was even more convincing. It was very frustrating. When I saw that, I said, whoa, the Vatican is bloody burning, right? And again, I had some people come here and told me that's what was going on because, like me, they thought it was. And again, maybe it did, but I haven't seen information about it. Alex Jones didn't talk about it. Fox didn't talk about it. So there's a problem with that because they always talk about everything before we talk about it. Usually there's no left or right. It's class warfare. That's exactly it. Exactly. That's what they're saying. There's no left and right, but there's no left and right as for the citizens. But in the government, what we call the left are the extreme left Democrats. And they're saying the same bullshit to the other ones. They're saying the extreme left, right Trump supporters that are terrorists, by the way. What do they call it? Domestic terrorists. That's horrible. Horrible having said that. June 6th. Yeah, right. It's a person that gets, anyway, we won't get into the June 6th one. Tesla said theoretical physics is bullshit. Tesla was right. But the theoretical physics are the chances that some crazy people are taking. But yeah, theoretical physics is not going to solve a perfect solution down to a hairline. It'll leave a big gap in what's really out there. It's incredible. Scientists are only starting to understand black holes now, right? They had no idea what black holes were like a year ago or two. And then all of a sudden, well, now we found this. And what was that big, secret they were supposed to talk about, the James Webb image? I heard Biden is supposed to reveal the image. Did you hear this? This is real news. Fact. That's a fact. He's supposed to reveal the James Webb telescope image of deep space, along with some findings that they said. Remember what they said? It's going to change the way physics operates and the way scientists understand the universe. So that means everything's shifting. CERN, HARP, and all that. They're sending out things into space. Why are they doing that? I was in grade 6. They sent out New Horizons to Pluto a year ago or two. I turned around, I think 2 or 3. It's going by so fast now. Turn around and they said, yeah, Pluto is a snowball. Thank you so much for those billions of dollars invested. And then they wanted to make a little joke, maybe. So they put a picture of Pluto from Walt Disney on top of the planet. Have you seen that? Pluto the dog with his ears? That's what Pluto looks like. That's right. I'm not bullshitting you. It's real. Ace Ventura. Today's politics are a joke. Yes, they are. Hi. Thanks, Ace Ventura. They absolutely are a joke. Leia, hello. I did not see Leia. Thanks for being here. Under Tim's bigger, the moon, I think. They're in the moon. Oh, come on. No way I have 17K likes. I wish. Okay, 1.7. I don't see a point there, though. Don't scare me, guys. I might have a heart attack. Silver lining. Thanks again, guys. Bruce says, what are your thoughts about the moon being some part of plasmic reflection of a gigantic Earth? I love that, Alpha Kush, that theory. And I'll tell you what, I had a theory myself that imagine if we were all in craters and the sides, the walls so high are the darkness that we're seeing around, and the lights that we're seeing, like the stars, are actually just moving objects inside of this crater, which is we call the firmament or whatnot. Maybe the crater is so large that people perceive it as being a universe when we're just in. Imagine us being on the moon, where that everyone's saying is smaller than Earth, and that the crater is millions of miles long and big and deep, and we're inside of that. Like, that's interesting to me. But as for the reflection of Earth, I have to admit I have a hard time with that one. But I don't know. I have a hard time with that one, with the reflection, because my problem is with the UFOs roaming around and flying around. It really looks like a different surface. I don't know about that. Could it be the opposite side, like Antarctica, of the other side of Earth that we could see and stuff? I mean, there's some interest that I have in the theories, of course, but you talk about the PSA for New York saying if you get nuked, go inside, stay inside. Beth, let's talk about that right now. For those of you who didn't know it, well, they're talking very oddly, and not just in New York, my dear friend, they're talking about it in several countries about what to do to be preventive if ever there's a nuclear bomb that falls on New York. I don't have to get into the details, or do I, about Russia just literally threatened the West to be nuked, right? Something happened. I'm going to keep it really basic, but Ukraine just let off a big B, which was a U.S. owned big, okay? And so look at it the way you want. Russia is literally being bombarded by the U.S. It's just that they're using Ukraine to do it. And something could happen possibly to New York, but that was the mention of it. So they're explaining to people to jump in their shower. I don't know if that's the one you want me to talk about, Beth, but that's what I heard. Telling people what to do in case, jump in the shower, close your windows, stay away from the windows, get down, duck, get down and duck. It's like Jim Brewer was saying. Okay, get down and duck. Listen for news to come. How? Now, if you're beside the blast, you're obviously not going to just go like that, because you're gonna die. If you're really far away from the nuke, you got a chance of living, right? But it's concerning. It's concerning that we're talking about that for New York, and I really don't like what China, its involvement. Everything. Klaus Schwab, the Davos. They're making me sick. Literally making me sick. Trudeau, what Trudeau is doing. And I couldn't believe that they talked about Klaus Schwab and the World Economic Forum, which is to Davos again, China and Klaus Schwab, that they were talking about having infiltrated the Canadian cabinet. And, there's a whole bunch of people now that are, basically under their control. And they brought it up in the House of Commons. At least, I'm repeating myself, I know it, 7 to 10 people stood up and said, no, 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 stop. There's, nay, 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 don't talk about that and stuff. So they're literally protecting people from bringing out the truth inside of the House of Commons. I think there's more corrupt people in there than there are good people. And that's something very, very sad. And I think that says about as much for the US as for Canada. And we'll go down the whole list. Merkel in Germany. We'll go to Macron in France. Just a bunch of idiots not doing their jobs properly, but taking control, giving complete control to pharmaceutical companies, which they are now have access to billions of dollars. And in a pandemic, they get more power. And that's why they're trying to apply this. But you see, it's all the pourboire in French. It's all these little tips and little extra envelopes that they're giving to certain people to get in or whatnot. Some people are there just for the money, and they're there to be in the government to make a lot of money. And maybe if somebody offers them millions of dollars, they're going to do it and just pull out. And they'll just shut up about it. Kill people without, worrying about running out of money. It's sad, but we know there's a lot of people like that in the world for sure. Plasmic reflection. I like also the plasmic reflection. I'll tell you what. Here's another thing, Alpha Kush. Imagine the Earth and the moon are one. I should have mentioned that because I really didn't. And actually, that's sort of true. I have a theory that imagine if Earth and the moon were one planet. The moon is the top or the bottom of where the planet where we're in, by the way, where we think we're on a planet when we're in a planet and standing on a solid surface, and we're seeing walls around us turn around and whatnot. So there could be many things, right? When you look at the moon, it doesn't look visually, does not look like it's rotating, especially with two different celestial objects, both the moon and me on Earth, trying to get a picture of the moon. And they say that the optical illusion, libration, is the reason why everything's lying down. I don't know. You gotta wonder if any friggin' truth in what they said there. Really makes you wonder. Thanks again, Beth. Yeah, exactly, Oliver Klein. Duck and cover. And all the arms flying away, the skin and everything. They told me to duck. I was okay. That's like when they tell you to take off your mask to eat in a plane. You won't get sick. It's like, eh? A lot of families fought, eh? A lot of families fought. A lot of sons and daughters were upset that parents took the V, and a lot of parents and fathers and mothers that were upset that the kids had to take the V or whatever. And there's some people that come here, and even a lot of you and I, not a lot, but some of you and I agree and disagree or disagree on whether people should take that medicine or whatnot. But it comes down to the real truth of what's going on. We were never told it. So we're sitting here all left fighting with each other, worried about family members, worried about what's going to come. But I think the truth is coming out more and more, and people are seeing that everything that was considered a conspiracy back in the time is not a conspiracy. Lots of the things are real, right? Remember myths, dragons, UFOs used to also be a myth, right? But not anymore. You got the Pentagon saying they're real. We don't know who they are. And they got people saying UFOs don't exist still. So some people are zombies. You're waiting for the zombie apocalypse? We're in it. We are the Walking Dead. We're zombies walking like, like that. So that's what's going on. Where the perception has changed. We're so totally mind controlled. They're dumbing us down. Sperm counts getting lower. Kids getting not too smarter. It's a funny way as a comedian of explaining it because that's my take on it. But it's sad. It's very, very sad. It's not enough not to care about people being gay. They want you to wave the gay flag and validate their sex acts. It's nuts. See, I appreciate that, OBX Arms, the way you explain that. It's absolutely that. Respect to all gay people and no matter how you are. But it's not enough not to care about people being gay, or like you say, if you don't care whether they are or not, exactly. You know, they want you to wave the gay flag and validate their sex acts. It's nuts. Exactly. And at the same time, it sort of makes people that aren't interested in this silly rainbow show that they're passing off as racist. It's sad. In Congress, guys, I've been watching Congress too, and it's crazy the stuff that goes on. They're saying, one guy said, who was it? You're going to be able to tell me. It doesn't really matter. One guy in Congress says, talking to a very kind black lady. I don't remember what she was. I say black so that you'll try to recognize her. Someone, a leftist. Anyways, she was pro-abortion. Yeah, that's what she was. And she said, the fact by saying that guys can't get pregnant, it's extremely insulting and transphobic to trans people. And the guy literally very respectfully almost laughed in her face because of what she was saying. So respect gay people. Yes. Respect gay people. But you know what? As a couple, when I was with my girlfriend, I didn't go to straight parades where I brought my kids and I'd have my pecker flailing in this sort of G-string and just in this thing. Just see Big Bruce walking down to come on, kids. Imagine if we started saying that. Oh, look, Bruce, he's a straight guy. Every school should have a fat, straight, funny guy in the school to walk around naked and tell the kids, I'm straight. We're living in a clown world. We're living in an absolute clown world. Even what they're saying online. But what about the fake actors? What do you guys think of the actors? Do you believe that there are political actors or that people, reenactment actors where they're pretending that there's protests and the sounds of guns and stuff? That's concerning because we're going to have a hard time being able to try to find the proof if that's going on, eh? So yeah, duck and cover ain't going to cut it usually. Oh, it's jumping up again. It's jumping up again. Well, did we get that list? Valkyrie 594. Remember, there's a book out, guys. The Epstein List, Hey, Norma C. Norma C's in the house. Thank you so much, Norma C. Thanks for listening in. I appreciate that. I hope you're doing well. I am Kai. Bro, thanks for amazing support here, man. Thanks for everything you're doing, man. You guys can check out Kai too. And Beth has videos up. Cigar-shaped UFO on Beth's channel, which unfortunately doesn't have 10,000 views. Why? Because I'll tell you why, because it's a real UFO. There's no way in hell you could have faked that for sure. Guys, I threw up a 1-minute video. I thought you were going to say I threw up. I'm going to say, don't tell me you're sick. I threw up that's exactly what we're going to talk about. I threw up a 1-minute video of UFOs over the fireworks. Saw them from work window on my little channel. So please head over and check Beth. No, yeah, she's a sweetheart at the same time. You guys can go interact with her, but do check not just that video she posted. I went to see it, by the way. It was really cool. And like she was talking in it, UFOs, guys, is an unidentified flying object. No matter what they are, they're unidentified. When you can't identify something that's flying in the sky, it's an unidentified flying object. People relate to unidentified flying objects always being craft, but we can't rule out what we're seeing, right? When it's a plane, you'll see the wings, you'll see the strobes flashing and stuff, but not all the time. We saw 2 lights in your video, Beth, appear too, so you guys can check that out too. For Hebrew, the languages was Aramaic. Yeah, you're absolutely right about that silver lining. Aramaic. And then, okay. So basically languages change every single 50 to 100 years. Words the whole time in 100 years time, the words are changing. And only a couple of hundreds of years ago, we were saying nay, yay, and talking a very different way. The writing, the lettering was different. Even, the cursive writing, then everything always changed so we can have problems. So when we find something written 10 or 20,000 years ago and we say, let's compare with, hieroglyphs or the ancient scriptures and stuff. If there's 20, 30, 60,000 or a million years difference between that language, there's nothing is going to be able to be seen or found out about that technique. Carbon dating, did you hear about that? We talked about this last stream. The carbon dating, they found a problem with all the carbon dating they've been doing, and that's including the Shroud of Turin, where they were apparently 15 to 25,000 years off. So now if they're 25 to 15,000 years off, is the Shroud of Turin really Jesus? And then they say, oh, but the Mayans also changed. There was a change between the dates and stuff like that, leap years and everything. Try to know exactly when was 2,000 years ago with all the manipulation that's going on around anyways already. I'm with you on the Bible. Peace Messenger says the moderator was in the years 3XX, and Hieronymus, yes, was instructed by the Pope to omit certain scriptures. See truth in doing some research, absolutely, and do some changes as well to misinterpret either deliberately or not, right? There's more to this than meets the eye. That's a very good one. Thank you, Peace Messenger. I appreciate that. Makes sense. 1,000-year life when Christ can give it eternal. Yeah, there's another one. There's another one. That's true. Melchizedek lived the longest over 900 years. That is absolutely incredible. Yeah, well, the longest is someone in the Bible that lived 1,100 or 1,200 years, right? On top of that, I think, well, I could be wrong about that. That's a hell of a long time, 900 years. Imagine starting to get a sore back at 35 years old. Can you imagine? So there's a problem. If people are living that long, we know that today we couldn't live with the ailments we have. No way in hell is someone going to live to 900 today. Could you imagine dementia and Alzheimer's just at 200 years old? Hello, mom, dad. Then they go to 300 years old. Don't even think of it. Why weren't people getting Alzheimer's back then? Or you don't hear about it in the Bible either. All these cancers and everything that people were having. We do hear of leprosy and certain things and sickness, but I think it was more brought on by uncleanliness or God that plagued certain nations, let's say, because of certain events. NRG frequency, Midi-chlorians, immortality, God is another thing. Constance Kavanagh, thanks a lot. Yeah, frequencies are definitely something that we're in right now. We're in frequency wars. So what's going on, Constance? The things that are going on right now, we're not necessarily seeing smoke rising up, even though we do sometimes. Everything's being hidden in space and the wars, and they're beaming with direct energy weapons. That's another thing. The DEW satellites. Oh my goodness, what is that going to do? Because it's in the hands of someone that is evil, right? I mean, artificial intelligence, I believe it could help handicapped people. Artificial intelligence can help elderly. It could help the blind. It could help a whole bunch of people, children. It can help slower people. But I think we're going to use artificial intelligence to dominate, to be strong, to look at the New York police that are using those dogs there. One of them sent one of them in to get some guy that was in his apartment. What do you do when you see that bloody robot dog come in there? Did you see when they mentioned that about the videos? When they made the videos with the first artificial intelligent robots, they had them dancing and stuff like that. Psycho guys. We got mad scientists running the world. So let's go back and watch all the Dracula, which vampires exist now, they're saying. So that's not too good. Did you hear about them talking on Alex Jones about the placentas and how we could have to keep the baby fetuses? It's getting crazy. It's getting crazy. I think everything they talked about a myth. Dragons. Yeah. Not too impressed. I'm pretty sure they probably existed. And I don't really care. I care about the now. But I would like some of that truth to come out. I really, really wish that they would talk, some of the truth. Let me scroll down once again because I'm sure I'm missing a whole bunch of comments. 625. And I got to scroll down again. Sorry for not being able to answer everyone, but I sure as hell appreciate all the comments, everyone. Romain, I saw something the same. Romain, es-tu ici? Et voilà, mon ami Romain Claveron. Yes, here cartilage. Hi, Bruce. I just saw a report on the Challenger explosion in 86. There was no one inside. He found them 30 years later, so-called twin brothers. T'es-tu sérieux? That is definitely interesting. Isn't, you know where I was, Romain? J'étais en 6e année quand c'est arrivé ça, en plein après-midi, sur l'heure de dîner. On était en train de regarder ça dans la classe. I remember that back in 86. I think they had sent up, merci Romain, they sent up Canadian astronaut too, I guess. The Challenger, was it Challenger Explorer? I could be wrong. No, 86. It's exactly it. The Challenger, where the Canadian astronaut went up, the lady, and 7 astronauts or something like that, right? That's when they started talking about needing another 7 astronauts, and all the jokes came out with the Head and Shoulders on the beach and all the jokes that were coming out. So Romain just saw a report talking about the Challenger explosion. There was no one aboard. I believe in that as a theory that I would not be surprised at all if that started coming out. Like, you know, guys, why do you think people are always saying that Elvis is on the bloody moon? Because people understand that without knowing or even caring, it's really possible that someone like Elvis or anyone else could have pretended or faked a death, because we've seen so many lies with the government and stuff like that. But the big story about Elvis, hey guys, you got to check it out in the community. I saw a report on a documentary, and Elvis, I saw him in an interview that was supposedly alive. It looks like him. Elvis supposedly had a twin too at one point, Jesse or something like that. Lots of stories coming out. Apparently, Elvis would have gone underground to the underground world, and there's a word in particularly the Weather Underground group. Look that up. It's still coming out in the news. It's been years. Nobody knows about the Weather Underground group. He became an agent, federal agent, wanted to, I really want to do more for the community than just sing, is apparently what he said. Went underground and started using them. He said in the interview, if it's real, I showed pictures with him and Clinton and everything, by the way, in the community. They said that Elvis Presley was asking the president to recently to sort of pardon him for having pretended that he took his life, or pretending that he died. But he was apparently working for the government, federal agent. It was a police officer. Elvis was a police officer. So I look back and what they said about him being a police officer. And do you know that he actually admits that in 3 of his shows in the 70s? He admits it on stage. I was blown away when I saw that. He didn't hide it. There's another part where at one point he flashed a badge. And if you guys want me to show you, you know Elvis's famous jumper suit that he always wore going out to his shows, black and white? It says DEA office on it, if you zoom up on the pictures. So apparently Elvis Presley, this is just an extra good one for those that want to laugh, because there's maybe some truth to this. Apparently that's what he was doing. He was an agent, and every place where he had a show, the show was, big concerts were deliberately in areas where drug dealing was going on. He apparently wanted to stop drug dealing. So when he died, everyone said that Elvis was, fatso, died on the toilet bowl with a sandwich in his mouth. He said, Elvis, that he gained weight so that he would be the same weight as the guy that was dying, by the way, and that when he died, they were going to use his body in Elvis's coffin. A lot of you guys and gals and a lot of people said that the wax person or wax museum Elvis that was in the coffin was a wax figure, and it wasn't actually Elvis Presley. Some people said that it was fatter than Elvis, because I don't know the name of the guy, but apparently Elvis Presley, there was a twin, not his twin Jesse, but a guy that looked a lot like him, but that was chubbier, that Elvis, leading up to the fake death that was coming, he had to start eating a lot and a lot more to be at the same time as that person that was dying who volunteered this. This is crazy story, right? It's a crazy story, but there's an interview out there on YouTube that they went to his house, and he's in California, if I'm not mistaken, and he pretended that he died. His whole family knows that. So does his Priscilla Presley and everything. They all knew that it was a fake death, and it was so that he was able to continue working. But hey, I don't know if that's true or not either. So yeah, well, listen, some of them are mean. I still see we gotta, you know, there's still some good kids out there. I know it, but it's unfortunate to see the degrading of the evolution of the minds of the kids. When you guys, I used to drive a medical bus, but when I started driving a school bus, and I saw secondary 4, secondary 5 kids with Pokemon hats and the big music ears, and they had Pokemon shirts and stuff, I was blown away. You know, me in grade 4, I started wanting to wear Harley shirts and you know, big boy shirts, and I wanted to be a man. I wanted to be an adult. I went through the polo prep, turquoise pants, pink shirt sort of thing. Big tubby Bruce with this. Anyways, I mean, I went through all these trends, but it's like you look at the trends of the kids today and you go, what the hell? In my age, I'm born in 75, and the grandparents all had the bloody baseball caps with the flat edge and the big friggin' puffy farmer hat sort of thing. And today, the kids are back to that. Now the kids don't want to bend it. Me, if you're my age, you're going to laugh seeing me do this. I bend my hat to be perfectly round, to be like a roof when it's raining, because that's my time. But kids today, they want the palate straight. I remember my son, God bless him, and he says, "Dad, you bent the cap." It was something instantaneous I did when I gave it to him. Hey, look, man, there's a hat for you. It's bent. No more good. Don't want it bent. Don't take the stickers off. Don't take the tag off. Reminded me of that woman in Hee Haw with a tag on her hat, you know. But that's how different generations are. You can only imagine the changes that happened in the generations, guys. You know what? There were no changes. It changed up and went back down. We went from the flat hat to the Kirby hat, from the Kirby hat to the flat hat, and back to the Kirby hat. And you'll see my kids, when they have kids, they'll go back to bending the hat down, all to do the opposite of what the parents are doing. It's silly when you think of it. Hey, Flirty Chickens. A blindy? Flirty Chickens, I love the name. The Boo Crew is in the house. My birthday is this Friday, and I was going to miss your live. So happy it's today. Well, Boo Crew, if I remember, I'll give you a shout out on Friday for a happy birthday, and I hope you spend some time with family and have a nice birthday coming on Friday. And I have to really thank everyone for coming by the streams. And again, because of whatever here, I don't know. I don't see the likes, views, or nothing. It's a little funny. I'll see it afterwards. Somebody told me there was 17,000 likes, or says even 1.7 likes, I would be blown away, guys. Honestly, if I have 1.7 likes, if I have 2,000 likes, I'm going to stream again tomorrow. Careful. Don't push me. Be free, man. Thanks for being here. Blinky Blindy. Norma C, I can't thank you enough for appreciating the lives. Thanks a lot, you guys. I'm really lucky to have you all here. Trampoline accident changed my ear shape. Oh, it did. Joe could have had a trampoline accident. Oh, yes. Like there's lots of. I think Joe fell down many stairs. That or he was a boxer. Something happened to him. They got twins. Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. That's like Elon Musk, be free man. I was curious. I said, does Elon Musk have any kids? And somebody goes, yeah, he's got twins. I said, Neuralink, the guy's manipulating DNA and stuff. It's like, I don't know. What's wrong with adjusting the brain waves on a pig? It's something everyone in grade 6 was so anxious to do when they got older. He can manipulate with Neuralink those brain waves. And by manipulating with a program, the brain waves can actually change the pig's feelings. So now let me tell you about something. When we all have chips in our head, they're going to hack us. Okay. I promise you this is what's going to happen if we get chips. They're going to hack your brain and you're not going to know it. And we're going to be under their control, so to say. Not so to say. I think it's literally that, you know. It is, Blake Lee. That's what they're saying. It's pure crap. Damn right. Since most dinosaur fossils are slightly radioactive, yeah, I heard that only recently. It skews the carbon dating wildly anyway. Actually, that's almost dumb, eh? That's true. I hadn't thought of that, but I think so. And you know how they take core samples out of the ground and they dig down into the ice with the core samples and they go get all those core samples of the different. Oh, look, there was a volcano and there was someone having a picnic 2,000 years ago right by that tree. I don't know about the carbon dating. If it's all off, we are definitely screwed. Give me 2 seconds, guy. Yeah, well, that's how it is, eh? You got to wonder. Casa Nostra. Casa Nostra is in the house. The last Australian, James Zelensky's in the house. Pastor Bob Joyce is Elvis. Let me go back up. Sorry, Kai. Stargazers here also. David Donham, CL3. Thanks for coming back, my brother. The guy that gave me a hand of, gave me a heads up on they were talking about the Vatican. So like I said, I'm happy we brought it up. I'm happy we did an investigation on it. Why are people hitting the like button? Oh, David. Holy shit. I hope it's because I like the video, man. Hopefully, I hope it's because I like the video. Maybe it's because they know that a lot of jealous people come here and put my views down. I used to get hacked where they used to bring the views down, and people that like the videos get them taken off. You can do the test, subscribe to my channel and like 3 videos. When you come back, the videos likes will be gone. And so will your subscription, actually. So, David, people are hitting the like button because they like me. I hope. Are you able to do live streams with your telescope? No, but it's because it's too noisy here with the crickets in the back and totally boring looking at a moon going left and right continually, hearing with the bugs. I'm jumping out on the wooden deck and stuff, so it wouldn't be very, very pleasant. But maybe I'll look into doing something like that maybe in the near future. Pastor Bob Joyce is Elvis. What was the name of Elvis? You say Bob, eh? I saw another name, but no, James. Uh, you're like one of those. No, I know you're mixing him up. Pastor Bob looks nothing like Elvis, dude. Okay, he looks like Kenny Rogers, and Pastor Bob is not the person I saw. You know how I know? Because Elvis has his ears, Elvis has his eyes traits and nose and features and birthmarks. When you zoom up, somebody that has 3-4 birthmarks on their face will have it many years down the road also. But I know what you mean about Pastor Bob. I have hundreds of people saying, Bruce, this is who you think is Elvis. Go in the community. I have a picture of Elvis that was taken with Clinton. It's very, very recent image. And it is Elvis Presley. And you can tell by looking at the earlobe and looking at each and every way that the ear begins to droop every 10, 15 years. And you see that his ear became longer. I did all the research and I solved Elvis' story. No, I'm kidding. Won't go that far there, but I did do some research. And in the community, the images I posted of Elvis, I 100% believe that is Elvis Presley. And I don't believe it was done with artificial intelligent programs. I know a lot of you are going to be curious right now. Scroll down till you see like 6 or 7 images of Elvis, and you let me know what you think on those posts. Good day, Bruce, and all an observation with generational mass hypnosis. Love it. Thanks for bringing it up, Laos Australian. Only few seem to be able to grasp reality before the subconscious dominates. EMF, EMR, yep, the frequencies, the radio waves, that's how it is to be avoided, has been banned. Thanks for sharing that. Observation with generational mass hypnosis. You see, MK Ultra, they did testing. They tried brainwashing people. They were able to brainwash them and have them forget of things that they did. But the problem was at that time and point that the brainwashing, unfortunately, also washed away the person's reality and like life in them. They just, made mush with their brains. So it's like he just finished a job for the government, and then he goes home the next day and he's like this. I think the family's going to realize something's up, Bent brims are so better. Take the damn sticker off. Bent brims. I hope you're not talking about my sticker. Biden did that. Oh, bugger. Jenny, how's it going? Let me try it again. Jenny, how's it going? No, it doesn't work. Let me try it again. Jenny, no. Jenny, there you go. I won't hit the like button unless you tell me why you have a Confederate flag in the corner. It's not a Confederate flag. It's not the fucking General E, and it's a gift that I got from somebody who really, really loves me. And that's why I posted it there. But if you want to say that I posted it there because I hate black people, go right ahead. You're not going to win over me, You know what? I think that your judgment about the flag, you better be very careful. That's what I say. Would you like me to take it off? Okay, give me 1 second. Hold on. There we go. Is that better? I don't buy into the black thing and the Confederate flags and the statues being taken down. I don't give a shit about that. I'm still not racist. I have black friends and I'm proud of it. That's a gift I got from my friend Julie because of the area. That state flag represents something, right? Represents what happened in the past to many people. If I had a General Lee flag there, I wouldn't have put it up. And I'm back, lol, on the way home. We'll catch up after stream. Thank you so much, man. Jenny, you don't have to hit the like button. I can block you before if you want to. Just try not to cause any shit here. You can ask any question you want. You don't have to write in capital letters because you'll think maybe we'll see you a bit more. Try to be nice and try to ask me a polite question. I would have answered you politely. Thanks again, Mr. Peter Benton. Let's see. Maybe I'm a stupid Canadian that doesn't know. I'm not into the bullshit and fighting with black and whites in America. If ever I would have had a General Lee flag, it would have been because I like the frigging car. It's also known as the Rebel flag, the Dixie flag, and Southern Cross. It's sometimes incorrectly referred to as the Stars and Bars, the name of the first national Confederate flag. I love USA, and that's why the flag is there. And that's why it was given to me. The Rebel flag is considered by some to be a highly divisive and polarizing symbol in the United States. So, that's what I read. The news told me that. The news told me it's bad. So, I look at it a little differently. So now, after that said, if it offends you, give me 2 seconds and I'll go take it off. And I'll put it back up when Julie comes back next Friday. We got to get along. We can all get along. And Julie got me a nice shirt. It was too short for my fat gut. It was wide enough. Space rock, as in space rock and roll and not space rocks. And this will be on kazoo. Let's see. Kazoo's not too chubby to try it on. people didn't like my Trump hat in the back, and they said I'm not going to like it. That's a little childish because I'm not really here for the likes, guys. Like I said, I never get the likes, and if there's 1.7 likes, and at the end of the video you want to take them off, I'm not going to be surprised. I just try to get along with people, but people don't like me coming on and putting things in the back. What else did I have to take off the screen? The Shiva, beautiful gift that I got, which is a big brass statue with a lot of controversy around it because it was at the CERN. I want that. I want everything that's controversial so we can talk about controversial stuff. I don't want to have Care Bears behind me and stuff, But the Confederate flag, I spent all of my life not even mentioning it because all of a sudden people said that it symbolizes racism. If it symbolizes racism, okay, well, it didn't for me. And maybe not, I'm not American, right? Not maybe I'm not. And maybe if I'm not as smart as you American people or knew that, forgive me. But like I said, if it offends you, I'll take it off. But it's going right back up there next stream because I don't like people telling me what to do. I actually feel like buying a second one, putting it there. That's how I am. Laura. Yeah, about Elvis. Well, go look at the pastor. Go look at the pastor and let me. You'll be able to confirm it's not Elvis because the pastor doesn't look like Elvis. He looks like Kenny Rogers. The divine sorcerer in the house, Stephanie. Thank you, Stephanie. And like I said, any black people here, I love you guys. There's no reason for me to be racist. I can't stand anyone a racist. How many times do you guys hear me talk about the KKK? How I ridicule them. They're all infested in Congress and all over in politics. They're all a bunch of assholes. And I'm totally against the KKK. Talk about white supremacy. Close the KKK. Finish it. End it. Seen them with those stupid dunce caps. There we go. Hopefully, so people won't think that I'm a Nazi or anything. Got Penny Bunny that inscribed me to the Nazis, the KKK, but it's not really Bruce Schwartz. It's there. Bruce Schwartz was inscribed to the Illuminati a couple of weeks ago too. So you go look at the signature book. I signed it, I guess. I don't know. People using my name, putting it everywhere, doing a whole bunch of mean things to me. Well, I'm a bit, I like debating and I like getting into subjects, and sometimes I like bringing it up, but the smile always remains on my face. I'm never insulted by anything any of you say. Actually, I'm hard to insult. I was that guy that people, just turn the cheek. You can only turn the cheek so many times, though. Bruce could be a cartoon. Need an alien, maybe. The bird he just did. It is, really is. Yes. Hey, Alpha Kush, I can't thank you enough. Guys, I really honestly love you all for this. I do this full time. I have no other job. I left the bus driving job because I was getting so much activity in the sky. The first group of the community kept encouraging me. Some of you are still here. Keep it up, Bruce. Keep doing more streams and stuff. So if you guys like more of the streams, it doesn't take away from the research. But instead of having just one video up today, I could post that video and maybe come on and stream with you all and talk about some things. I can't wait to see the numbers to see if I'm hoping 1,000 people stop by today so that we could talk about some of these things. And at the same time, 10,000 people that came by to the last stream, which I've never seen before, I hope are getting the information of what happened, what really happened in William Shuttles. Thanks, man. Of what really happened in Rome, you guys. More people, please hit the like button. Sorry if I got a little too drastic. All she did was write in capital letters about the Confederate flag. It doesn't mean she's a troll. It just means that she's against racism, and it's okay. I just thought it was a bit harsh, screaming at me like that. Don't scare me. Don't scare me too much. There's one thing that I do, guys, and I'm going to be honest with you. And it's not heroin. No. I have some negative objects here. Things like this that people say, what are you doing with these negative things? I have a whole bunch of mystical things that I have. It's because when I was younger, I had, things like Vincent Price and, all these scary movies, Dracula, Frankenstein. I was so intrigued about the spirit world. And after my dad died, I've seen lights. So I've always been interested in both the light and the darkness to find out what the story is about it all. And sometimes I have things that represent negative things, and maybe the Confederate flag can pass off as negative for some, but I wouldn't want to insult Julie. I got that as a gift. And by the way, my friend Julie and Floyd sure as hell are not racist at all. I can confirm that, you know. But there's certain reasons about the Confederate flag, and they're down south. I got Southern friends. Some Southern people want to stick to the flag, and if they're doing it and being racist, well, that's a bit sad, you know. It is a bit sad. Let the gay people alone. Let the black people alone. Let the white people alone, right? We should all just get along, is how I look at it. Yeah, I'll put it back, man. Give me a second. I'll put it back. But at least people want people to know that at least I'm not racist. And I'll be the first to jump on any white mother that touches a black guy or even calls him the N word walking down the street. I don't care if I'm in Philadelphia or New York. I will clobber him. Right. With that said, it's a little special stream today. So, like I said, I just got it from Julie. Beautiful gifts. And not just that, she knows I collect flags. Oh no, the Trump hat just fell over. Hold on. There you go, man. That's how it is. It's important, though, that people know that are coming here, that I'm not racist. I just want you all to know that, but that should be enough that you all have to know. And yeah, I didn't think that it was that bad with the Confederate flag, but like I said, we lingered on long enough. Alpha Kush, I promise there'll be longer streams if you guys appreciate the streams. I can't help you. I can't thank you guys enough. Please hit the like button. Bruce is an awesome guy. David, it means a lot. It's always the same people like you, David, coming to comment and help with the encouragement, the beautiful comments that you're all leaving. Guys, I love you all. Honestly, love you all. And as much as not necessarily trolls, but some people sometimes try to push that Bruce is maybe not an honest guy. And I know why, because I show a lot of controversial things. But in reality, I assure you, I'm here to share the knowledge that I know and to learn from you guys and gals all at the same time. We're all put here on earth to try to find out, Yes, James Doe. Well, again, I'm very careful. I never showed it in the past. It's because Julie gave it to me too. They're very nice. They've been traveling around. They've been giving me back things from the States because I was into the Space Force. She got me this beautiful Space Force hat that I'll be wearing at most of my streams right there because it was hot today. Beautiful. I want to thank them. And that's why I put these things up. And the background, when you see that Confederate flag there, say to yourself, US is being destroyed. And remember the horrifying people that enslaved both white and black people in the day is despicable. There is no two ways about it. Slavery should be banned. I taught my son about Martin Luther King. I taught him about the date when he was born. I taught him about what he represented, what he did, and what people did to him and why he did it. He knew all about, my son was 9, 10 years old, and he knew all about the black people sitting at the back of the bus, the water fountains they had for black people and white people. How disgusting. But that was somebody, again, Build Back Better, a leftist group that gets in there to destroy everything, and it's a bunch of bullshit. Very, very sad. Stewie Brooks, thanks, man. Hey, Bruce and community, hope all is well. I got to head to work, to hopefully I'll catch you all tomorrow. Stewie, can't thank you enough, man. Thank you so much for the generous contributions, guys. And yeah, I'll be here, and a video will be up, and we'll be streaming this week. Be looking for more things that are occurring anyways. Out to lunch. Laura, thanks for being here. Thanks again, man. Thanks, David. People need to get their heads out of their nether religion. Yeah, nether regions. That's well said. Yeah, that's true. You know, somebody that's bad can't usually hide it, right? And somebody that's bad, when some if somebody's authentically bad, they're not going to be able to hide it for the longest time. True colors always come out. I could do this research for 7 years, but to get to the 10th year and you guys find out I'm a fraud, everyone that's doing something deliberately to hurt people will be found out for sure. I've never seen any channels be able to continue on for very long until people bring out the true colors. There's lots of videos about me being frauds and stuff, but the videos don't have any credibility and it's just more talking videos. Unfortunately, not really something I can really get around. But Eddie, Brian Dwyer, thanks so much, man. You're a nice person, Bruce. I love you for it, man. Thanks a lot. I've tried to be, man. Love your videos and your streams are interesting. Eddie from Dublin, Ireland. Again, my friends from Dublin, Ireland. Thank you so much, man. Thanks a lot, bro. That means a lot. Love you, man. No wokeness here when you're born in the 70s. I think that's what it is, eh? I think that's what it is. The people in the 70s, we've seen all the changes around us, but we're not stupid. You know, everything makes sense. No wokeness here when you're born in the 70s. Thing or as you see, you say how it uck 'em, Bruce. Exactly. I will uck them when they say things like that. But again, for the person that was here for the Confederate flag, I know you're not a troll. I was just a little playing with you a little bit because I thought it was a little insulting that you brought that up when in reality I felt that you were trying to turn my goodness and honesty around another way. You know, it's like looking at an image upside down, right? That's how often what happens. It would be good for you to do a show on how our countries fought. And that's wow. The last Australian, I'm doing podcasts now, and so that is definitely some things that will come out in the podcast along with the MK Ultra, my first podcast. Go to playlists, guys. Playlist podcast 2022, and you'll hear the MK Ultra talking about a lot of things that occurred here in Montreal. It's where it all started. We had the Ewan Cameron, that was a CIA member or FBI member that was down here in Canada, the Van Allen Hospital, that was in charge of all these secret mind control programs that were doing lobotomies and everything, that were kidnapping children. Whew. The Canadian Holocaust, that's what people are looking up. Have a great day at work, Stewie. Thanks so much for stopping by, man. Yeah, history does have meaning. I'm American, shouldn't comply. Yeah, exactly. And it has meaning. And I agree with the ones that were slaveholders were assholes. It's like, look at all the Masonic presidents. We're not going to hide it. They're all Masons and hand in there. And they were doing all these different signs and stuff, the Masonic signs. And, you know, but today, would we put statues back up today of slave owners? No, no. And you know what? I'm going to dare say, and I'll leave it at that. Unfortunately, as bad as the whites were at that time with the blacks, not the whole truth came out. Bits of truth mixed with lies. We've never got the whole truth to know who entirely did all the shit and started everything. It's odds and ends and lies here and there. And, you know, somebody gets hung in a tree, it's bad enough. You don't have to say that there's 6 in a tree. Be honest about what happened. And it's the problem that I have with, you know, humanity. There's a lot of, there's a lot of people like fisherman stories. I get it. Has meaning, history. Americans shouldn't comply. Thanks again. The Boo Crew says we don't agree on some things, but that's why I love the channel. Thank you. And Boo Crew, again, my opinions and theories, it doesn't mean they're right either. But the fact that you can come back to the channel and you're not going to hate me or thrash me, that you're leaving things, accepting the difference in opinions, even if I might be wrong, by the way, which I could be. I appreciate that. That is true, Boo Crew. It keeps me questioning and evolving my opinions, Boo Crew says. Like with the Confederate flag, maybe I'll spend a bit more time understanding it and to see if it's just a bad meaning or if there's any goodness to it, because it's the Confederate flag. It's because I'm back in the South, Southern friends and stuff. I got friends down in the South. But aside from that, if anyone was to speak about against any color or any race, I would be there 100% to definitely to defend them. Leia says you can make some of the people happy some of the time, but you can't make all the people happy all the time. It's true. And don't forget, as much as I'm just as responsible for the way I reply to people and stuff, listen, we're human. I have a heart. Sometimes I can feel offended or whatnot, but honestly, I didn't. And I loved the question. I don't know why I'm sick, guys. I like it when people bring up controversial subjects. Why do you have this? Why do you have that? One point, people wanted to know why I had the skull. They asked me if I was a Hells Angels member. And I was saying, what's wrong with the Hells? What's wrong with that? I mean, okay, you go, well, there's some, well, no, there's bad people in every clique, I think, in every group, you know. I always thought that who was going to save the world were the gangs. Where at the end, all the gangs that were independently with all their chapters in different countries and stuff, when they see the shit happening, they say that's when we roll. So that's what I always thought and hoped to see. You know, we expected the Hells Angels actually to come to Ottawa. Now we're talking about Hells now. Anyways, let's change subjects. Whew. Bruce finishing off with a bang. All work have ups and down times. You're absolutely right. Paulo, thanks for the comments, bro, and stopping by. Guys, I'm blown away at this 2.9 likes. I love you all for it. Thank you so much. Okay, OBX. Piss off, Jenny. My grandfather used to say piss off. Maybe my grandfather's speaking. Hey, Adam, if there's something around it, should let you know. They are doing a couple of rights in the raw at the same time. You should experience something. My haunted life. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, OBX Arms. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. JC Boy is in the house. Yes, out to lunch. And you see in the Masons, they have the Freemasons and people that wanted to get the power and energy of what they were doing, but without being part of the clique, without being part of the brotherhood. So the Masons didn't like that there was Freemasonry because then it was apart from the brotherhood and everything. But it's the ones highly placed in politics that are the Masons to be worried about, and not the ones that we see here buried in my cemetery and probably your cemetery too. You know, we're in a time of war. I'm a rebel. That's why that's there. That was my honest, thing. In other words, hold on here. I get it. I get the story. I get what went on. And I have silly stuff like this around the house because I know it's probably only a matter of time till there's a revolution. Is this a bit much or? But it's true. Revolutions occur probably every 100, 150 years. And I wouldn't be surprised if there was another one that, could possibly occur. Okay, I'm gonna be an ass now and no, okay. Stop fucking around. Hey Adam, if there's something, okay, there. 51 likes. Well, that's what I see. I see 100 likes now, but I guess we all see different likes. It's a bit silly, ain't it? We're all seeing different likes. Oh, little dust on that. Little dust on my Confederate hat. Don't say it's a Confederate hat. It's not a Confederate hat. It's a revolutionary hat. Right? No, okay. We were born for it. Everything's jumping up here. Refresh 150 or more. Space pirate. Stop defending yourself, dude. You don't need to. No, BX. I'm that way. I'm deliberately bringing it up to show that I was like, oh, being a bad boy. But in reality, yeah, it was a bit silly that the person brought that up that way, but that's how it is. Yes, Elroy shredding. I didn't think anyone was going to say it, but yeah. And I don't know if you notice, for a Canadian, I know a lot about my American friends and a lot about what's going on. 1984 is 1776, baby. Tell that to a Canadian, the neighbors, what the hell happened in 1984, and what the hell is 1776? Are you guys pulling my leg? If there is, Norma C, right on, sister. Right on. And in a good way, like I say, I'm really not a bad person. And I don't want anyone to pick up arms either, because I don't believe we have to. I believe we're strong as the people, just as the people. So thanks, Lisa. My little, it's what's going on. I have every time I put this on is when there's a protest or when something's going on. And I bring my djembe drums to the protests. I try to be a participant. I bring my Screw Trudeau flag to the protests. I wouldn't go protest in the States with that flag, but especially not in Chicago. But hey, thanks, Lisa. Yeah, at 1.7, I saw 700 likes. So even better if it is. Thanks so much, guys. I really appreciate that. Yes, I am Kai. We will see it. We're going to see another 1776, no doubt. 3005. Thanks, Leia, for letting me know that. So now I'll scroll all the way down because people must be talking to me and I'm not seeing them. Deep Underground Military. Oh, yeah. Well, Rob Ewing, you said it. The Dumbs, the Weather, Underground Weather group. It's the same thing. Most likely, exactly the same thing. Big vehicles like trucks. Sorry, guys. Geez, there must be a lot of people here. Share the vid. Wow, guys, thanks. Share the vid to a homie, guys. Oh, a normie. Okay, I thought you said homie. That'd be awesome. Pibble Mom, mine is showing 3.5. Pibble Mom, thank you for being here. Sorry if I'm missing some of you. Honestly, if I'm missing some of you. A whole bunch of stuff. Old Lady Patriots there. Bruce, have you heard about Phil Schneider? No, I have not, Alpha Kush. Guys, I want to stay on a couple more minutes with you if you don't mind. Can I take the time to reheat the coffee? Don't say anything. I actually got a gift. It's a machine to keep my coffee warm, which I'll have on the next stream, but I didn't want to bring it up for the trolls, but be right back. Careful not to like the video too many times, guys, because if the number gets too long, people might have a hard time seeing it. I am friggin' kidding about that. Appreciate the likes so much, even though if it's only um, um, a sort of one-time thing, it doesn't matter. Try to clean my glasses so I can see, even though I don't use glasses for viewing, I use it to hide my black eyes. There we go. My cousin matches. Some of the YouTube is either slipped or under new management, maybe. So let me go down. Cosmic Black is here. Is it Cosmic Black? Why is everyone disappearing? Gate Smasher, thank you for everything. That pisses me off that people didn't get notifications. Man, I was just telling everyone a special thank you, the flags, and I have to thank you, man, for the space rock, which is just to say my belly button's about to the bottom of the shirt, but this is going to be Kazoo shirt. And man, the stickers and the NASA stickers, I can't thank you enough. You guys are amazing. I love you and Julie so much for the amazing support. You guys connected, and I got Biden here on my microphone now because he did that. And I promise you, I'll be sticking it all over the gas stations here in Canada, so Canadians will know about Biden. They'll say, Biden's causing the gas hike here. I took a chance to come on, and unfortunately, those of you who didn't know, only about 15 to 11%, 11 to 15% of people that are subscribed to me get notifications. I think it's a glitch on YouTube. Aside from the many trolls or hacks that I have here, I think it is a glitch. So, guess 250 buys Bruce coffee to Stargaze. 250, dude, Dalek, if somebody gave me 250, thank you very much. But people got to understand $1 is a lot, my friend. And that's how it is. And if you gave that to me or whoever did, thank you very much. I might be missing some people, eh? There's the stats. So sorry about that. That's why I thought, I said, but the mods weren't there. Darla wasn't there. No one was here. Alpha Kush, that means a lot, bro. I got nobody's got my back except for my community here. They've always been here. The same people, when you come back, you'll see always the same people are here. I appreciate it, man. Really do, honestly. Hey, Stan's Cave, guys, thanks for the love. I appreciate that. I'm more than a pleasure coming on to do streams. There's lots going on, and we love talking to each other about all the crap. And Julie, I can't thank you enough for all the beautiful help too, for being a mod, for being here, for being a member, the contributions, the beautiful gift, the mails, the encouragement. I love you. I'll be honest with you. You got to have a lot of patience to even return chats with TV conditioned people, so many people. Yes, and I had to accept that black eyes, fatso, I'm going to kill your kid, I'm going to find your mom, all the threats that happened here. At one point, I started making jokes with it. I'm a comedian. So I started doing a lot of funny jokes and laughing at the people saying they were going to shoot me. I said, you probably can't even aim. And, it just became a way, not necessarily a defense, but a way to deal with all the crap and everything that's going on in reality. I have to look that up. Yeah, the Phil they were talking about, I did not hear anything about the Bill Gates food processing plant was been taken down by some Dutch farmers. We owe them a lot. Gate Smasher, thank you very much. Keep the truth coming out, Bruce. I love you so much, guys. Thank you very much. There'll be a return email soon, Gate Smasher. Thanks, you guys. Safe House Delta. Thanks. I love being here. Usually what happens, guys, is I never leave a live stream, is I'm always cut off. The reason why I'm still here is because they haven't cut me off yet. And I'll put my hands up because I know someone's going to cut me off now. I got a lot of people sometimes that trolls, not only the trolls that hate me, but there's also the trolls that like playing jokes on me sometimes, and hackers, whatnot. If I was a hacker, I'd be a funny one. I'd be tricking and joking people. I wouldn't be stealing their money or doing anything like that. Thank you so much, Lisa. Sugar B, thanks for being here. Again, the Safe House Delta, thank you very much. We had some fun. And again, Dalek, 2150, if ever that's what happened, I'm sorry for having not seen it. And I don't understand why I would not have, and I appreciate that. Yeah, Darla's not here. She probably did not get please honor. Thank you so much, Julie. Yeah, you guys, check it out. I see a lot of people going to some of the channels that I mentioned. Well, Darla is definitely one of the keepers of the key here. She was my first mod, and she was also my first subscriber. So that was pretty cool. Everyone, I just seen Bruce was on. I didn't get it. See, that's what pisses me off, that notifications don't go out. I mean, at least if they were all going out to the subscribers, I would get more people, but I have nothing to complain about. Apparently, there's a lot of people that came by. I think now there's 170 watching. Concurrent viewers must mean the people that are continually there. I live in Carolina. What the hell's wrong with me? I live in Carolina, and race relations are far better. Oh, that's good. That is so good, OBX Arms, down here than they are up north. You see, and here in my town, I've never, ever in my bloody life, and I'm not lying, I swear to God, I shouldn't be swearing to God, but I am. And I'll just swear that I'm telling the truth. I don't hear people talking about black people here. I hear more people, whites, talking about whites. Like whites saying, hey, he's an asshole, shithead mother, but it has nothing to do with race, and stuff like that. some black people in town, even some Muslims in town and stuff. People get along around here. There's no danger about but then again, we don't talk much about the religions. I've seen many craft over the years, but tend to see more in certain places. That's another thing. And Adam, Truth Finder, hey, thanks again for the Stewie and everyone for the generous contributions. A lot of people say, Bruce, could it be that the reason why you're seeing UFOs all the time in your area is because you're in a hotspot? Damn right, it could be because I'm in a hotspot. It's not just because I'm luckier that UFOs are necessarily hovering always around me. Maybe if I was to move or change places, maybe it wouldn't appear here anymore, right? Like if I was somewhere else or in the outskirts of Montreal, maybe I wouldn't get any UFOs or as many UFOs as I was getting here. Who knows? That's very, very possible. In Wilmington, welcome, my friends from Wilmington. And I do have a musical channel. If you guys want to check out my musical channel and to see what kind of a musical talent, or just want to laugh at me singing in French and Spanish, go and look. No, I don't sing in Spanish. I lied. I wish I did. Oh gosh, that'll be next. I have to try that one. But it's a silly little music channel that I have. It's called Bruce's Music, and you can find him in the channel. And you can go check out a lot of things that I've been writing for the past year. I just started sharing everything I've been writing, and I hope some of it maybe is interesting and some of it maybe you guys like. Let me know in a comment. Rate me. Not rate me, just rate me. Can we stop calling women bitches? How old are you? Who's calling women bitches? I'm sure no one's calling women bitches here. I wouldn't want to hear that. Yeah, exactly. I hope nobody's talking about that. And if so, well, the mods will block that person for sure. In Georgia, as a law-abiding, non-felon good citizen, I carry a 9mm on me for protection, which makes total sense. I totally agree with you. For me or my friends, shit's gotten crazy. Absolutely, and I hear you on it, David. I wanted to go get my uh, the gun license, and Trudeau, the asshole, took away that possibility for most people, and now they took away over 1,800 or 1,500 different weapons that we can't use. Even the AR-45 or AR, I'm not sure. I'm not a really good gun guy. I'm very good aim. I'm not good at knowing about guns. I can pull a lever and shoot anyone in the middle of the forehead, but I don't know how to unlock the guns. I shoot. That's how I am. Not going to hide it. It took a lot of possibility. I totally hear you with that, David. And in a safe way, guns can be very safe. And obviously, it's very sad when you have some idiots, leaving it loaded. They're cleaning it, and they go to the bathroom, and one of the kids grabs it and shoots it off. It's very, very sad. So when safe people have it, it should be like, honestly, look in Texas. Why there was a lot of people, and there still are, walking around with guns. You don't see shootings every bloody day in Texas necessarily, right? Why not? Well, because why would you walk around shooting people when everyone else has access to guns and whatnot? Sometimes it can keep. We've heard of the stories of people that have saved lives. A woman very recently, a young lady had the license to carry a gun on her, and she pulled it out because somebody was going to attempt to shoot someone, and she pulled it out and killed the guy. And she was a hero. So it's not pleasant having to shoot someone. We got to admit that it's not pleasant there. I don't care how crazy you are. It's not something that should be pleasant ever, or even killing animals, but you never know. You might have to use it. The best thing is always to try to get away out of a situation. But if someone pulls a gun on you and you have one, maybe it's the best thing for you to have it, 14th of July. Does that mean I'm in the future? Hey, yeah, 14th. Oh yeah, you are in the future, Josie. You or Josie, you are, Josie probably. You are in the future here. It's only the 13th. Got to refresh your bell notification. Click none, then click all bell again. Sugar Bee, the little tricks of the trade. Thanks for letting me know that. Thanks again, Julie. Prophetic news, UFO are fallen angels, transformers. Prophetic news. There's something about the fallen angel story that I absolutely love. Even at one point, I came out with the theory that imagine if we are all fallen angels and that we're here stuck in the physical body down on earth. Could you think of repercussions of that? Of the outcome, if that could be possible. A lot of people talk about us being the giants, Nephilim. It's another thing that's very possible. You know, who knows? That's a bit more. That's a bit more concerning or confusing. But I don't know if you guys are going to believe me, but I took a picture. Am I losing a horn? I took a picture on January 5th with this stupid thing on my head. Okay. Like this. I took a picture on January 5th on Facebook like this. And the next day, when that guy went in with a flag and had that crazy hat on, I took the picture down. So I said, no. It's my loose ears. Okay, enough of the joking. I'll take it off the hats now. That's a little bit of a child in me to show people how human I am. Wouldn't it have been funny if I just had a shaved Hitler mustache after that with the hair all on one side? What the hell's he doing? Shape shifting online. I used to think as well, Bruce, about moving so I wouldn't see so many. I moved and they followed me. Pibble Mom, I didn't want to move because I loved the experience of what happened when I saw them. I didn't like the times that they touched my shoulders and the times that they blocked my mouth. I had a hard time breathing at night, and there was something, an entity that was coming in my room that was continually blocking my mouth and putting all its weight on me. It's scary shit. Really scared the hell out of me when it happened. But in general, 99% of the lights that I see around me, I believe that they're my protector, that they protected me. And I think some of us in another life or through our soul, some way, have a really strange connection with some beings on the other side that have maybe done some experimentation on humans. I don't know. Throwing that out there. That's right, Lisa. They don't work for me. OBX arms, we just look at. We just look at because my exes weren't too polite when they woof. Yeah. Thanks, Julie. Some of us are, yeah. Some of us are too polite. It's the A that gives it away. Geez, we gotta do something, eh? And the bobbing of the neck, but that's I don't know why we do that. Thanks, Sugar Bee. Yes, I have many different hats, especially yeah, even some of the joke hats, so I'm not gonna get out. I even have some maybe I'll show those one day. Very controversial hats. Yeah, I'm starting to hear about that. They are lifting up the ban, and I don't know if they're going to do it here in Canada, but obviously they want to take away guns because they're getting ready for the revolution. 1776 all over again. It's people aren't going to resort to that unless it's the last resort. The government knows as long as they don't overstep the boundaries. If they go to the houses to take people's guns away and they start hauling people off the concentration camp, we're more than them. There'll never be 8 billion elites. And that's the most beautiful thing in the world. There'll never be 8 billion elites. There will always be 8 billion people. And if they don't fix their shit up in 2 or 3 years, we're going to be 13, 14 billion people. And then in 10 years, we'll be triple what we are now. And it'll be too late for the elites to do anything at all. Sun or shine or whatever, darkness. And there's Darla. Hello, Darla. You see, Sugar Bee, that's the thing. We have to accept the dark part before we can get out of the bad times. And yeah, there's going to be some hard, rocky times. We all know that there was a lot of deaths with the V and everything that's going on. I'm sad about that. I know a lot of families got pulled into the system, and zombies. I get it. It's sad, but thanks, Norma C. It was supposed to be for different occasions. to wear the different hats at times. So did Bruce is like Mr. Dress Up. What I have to get is a tickle trunk. Thanks, Lisa. Yeah, I think we are time traveling right now. For sure. The Canadian mechanics aren't polite with, oh, that's right, phrases like, keep your dick in a vice. Yeah, that's right. Now you're talking about, it depends on which Canadians. Like, for example, walk into a Canadian bar. It's not some funny smiling guy at the end of the bar that's going, I can have another beer, eh? Eh? No. Sort of gang like people, like in most bars. It really is, Darla. Thanks. Sorry for pulling some of you away from what you were doing, but I did want to come on, and I did want to let you know the information that came out about the Vatican, so that we don't linger on for several days and think that maybe there was something possibly there. It was an amazing stream. I don't regret having brought it up, but Volcano Rebel, thank you very much. See, different understanding, different perception of the way people think. So if you know that I have the flag, it's because you understand that the meaning of it is that I want the US to continue, and I want the USA to have the power. The black and white Americans have the equal power amongst themselves. Everyone that's been there, What's up, man? Did it happen? I think we all know. Stephen A, apparently, I don't think we're going to have any proof about the Vatican having been on fire. We got major fires around the Vatican. And if you go back to the live stream, is exactly what I said. We have anywhere from 3 to 6, 7 fires. And now we have several junkyards that caught on fire. That was a black smoke. And it was really, really, really bloody thick. And the mother bugger in the video that I saw put in a mushroom cloud at the beginning next to the Vatican. That one I didn't understand. I was blown away. I was upset, excited at the same time. Yeah, I am Kai. A tickle trunk. I know it sounds gay, but didn't mean that. Don't say gay. Anyway, the tickle trunk, Mr. Dress Up's tickle trunk. It was a red trunk with some bathroom-like sticker flowers that were on it. Little bathroom blue flowers. And he used to hide a whole bunch of stuff in his tickle trunk. It was Casey and Finnegan. And me, Mr. Dress Up. Remember that? It does. It does. I could just see. So for the drag queen reading time this morning, we will be looking inside of the tickle trunk. I don't think we should mention the tickle trunk and drag queen reading story time. What's up, man? Did it happen? So yeah. So apparently it didn't, bud. But there was a terror attack in June 22nd or June 20th. A man got shot, 2 tires shot. The man himself wasn't shot. They shot in the car. It was a drunk and drugged up person that went through 2 barricades after changing roads, and they closed the holy office, as they say. And it was while he was, Papa Francesco was doing his Angelus address. I hate the terms that they give them. The holy office, more like holy shit, right? Sorry. Really sorry about that, but it's true. Time keeps on slipping into the future. Gotta fly like an eagle. Love that one. Biden going to Israel to divide Israel. Sad stuff, going on. He's going to taste the ice cream over there. That's what he's going to do. Divide Israel for oil. It is so sad. Ladies and gentlemen, they are selling, the Americans are selling the reserves of oil to China in a time when there's food missing and shortages and gas prices, inflation, a recession. And now I think America is plunged into a depression. Not just America. I think the world's plunging into a depression. We're right back in the 1920s and 30s, but now we're in 2020. And from 2020 to 2030, it will be like in 1920 to 1930, the war, and then the wars will end, and there'll be the depression and the pandemic, like the Black Plague. I believe that every single plague, everyone who has polio, autism and all that, it's all from the vax that was done from since the beginning of time. The people back in the days when they had the V made a big mark there, and then they were testing things. Why do they have a whole bunch of spots? I believe that was all to sicken us, to keep the human race. Like Bob Barker says, don't forget to get your pets spayed and neutered to control the pet population. Well, what they're doing is they're controlling the human population through the same means. A lot of people don't believe it. Bill Gates said it, right? Bill Gates, way back at the meeting, says there are certain things we have to get rid of, and there's certain problems here and levels that we have to get down, starting by the CO2, which they said CO2 has to go down as levels. And he goes, I don't know. And everyone laughed. And he says, there's a lot of humans here, which are in the near future will be like over 7 billion people. And then Bill Gates went on to say exactly that by the V's, we will literally eliminate 10 to 15% of that quantity total, which people said, no, he didn't mean that. No, he meant exactly that. Alex Jones posted it again this afternoon, which he often does. And well, I don't like listening to Alex Jones because I don't like his voice. I don't like listening to Alex Jones because I don't like the ads. I don't like listening to Alex Jones. Never mind the guy. Go to his channel and look what he's posting. He's posting truth. And a lot of people are posting truth. It's like me. I'm fat, but my UFO videos are still cool. You can still watch a UFO video even though I got a big gut. No, I don't. I'm big everywhere. Basically, I'm just a one big size piece. Yeah, there won't be any elites by then. You're darn right about that. Neuro official. Hope everyone got a garden going. Yeah, I hear you on that. Things are heating up. We are winning, but we still got to be prepared. You're absolutely right about that, everyone. So listen, we had a good stream so that things won't get boring. I'm going to go back and start working on another video. I really want to thank each and every one of you, from Adam Truthfinders to I Am Kai, to everyone here for the generous contributions. If you're here, you're definitely giving an amazing contribution to the channel. Julie, Floyd, thanks for everything. Mods, Darla, and I hope to interact with you in the comment section afterwards. I don't stop. If you're new to the channel and you like the work and you think that I'm not ever going to answer your comments, I will answer each and every comment that you will leave me, because watch when I end this, there won't be any comments in the comment section. It'll be tomorrow till there's 100 comments. Now, everything is usually the opposite in life. So hopefully by me saying that, maybe I'll get more than 100 comments. And when you see 200 comments, you'll know that I answered 100 comments. So there's not actually 200 people. I love you all so much. Stephen A., everyone out to lunch. Prophetic News. Thanks a lot for being here, and all the mods. And I will talk to you very, very soon. Stay in touch, and I'll talk to you in the comment section. Check out the last few videos and the podcasts about MK Ultra, and let me know what you guys think. I'll talk to you all very, very soon. Love ya.